All right, good evening and welcome. My name is Rob, aka Lantern Noir, and we are more or less on time for some Dragon Heist. We get together on Sunday nights to play it. We are on episode 4. The party has had quite an adventure thus far and have now found themselves facing the greatest of all monsters, CR20, the Waterdeep bureaucracy. Hey, Zumi. Glad to have you in here. And I especially want to thank Arwen for continuing to subscribe to the channel. You don't have to do that, but I appreciate it. I appreciate every little bit, and you get really fun emotes out of it, including the child going hype.
That's the best one.
I'm anxious to get the animated emotes because I want to get the spinning. I want Kaylee's parasol to spin on the shiny emote.
Yes.
I want more
I just watched Serenity with my roommate for the first time. I just finished taking her through the show, and then we watched the movie. And
Yay.
Oh, okay. So you'd seen it
before. It's a rite of passage. I've seen it. My roommate has not.
Okay.
So it's like a rite of passage.
And she's forgiven you for showing her a show that stops after 8 episodes.
You know what though? It had a
They got a movie.
It was good. It was a good ending. They wrapped it up well.
Yep.
I have had much more disappointing endings to shows that ran longer. So it didn't outlive its time, which was the best thing I can say about how short it was.
And it's getting rebooted.
Is it really?
Is it?
Disney is rebooting it.
I love Firefly. That's exciting.
I have mixed emotions. On the one hand, more Firefly. On the other hand, Disney's in charge of it.
Mandalorian.
Yeah,
Ooh.
I guess we'll see what happens in the Book of Fett, but like
Hawkeye.
I actually haven't seen that. But my theory is that as soon as they noticed that there was money to be made with it, they're like, cool, let's get everyone involved in this. Like, no, it being small was what made it great. And they're like, cool. So all the money and all the people, right?
I have the same reservations about the Amazon Lord of the Rings. Because that's been my first and biggest love since I was 5 and my dad read me The Hobbit. So I have very mixed feelings about that one.
Nathan Fillion is not involved. They're wrong. Can Harry Cavill be Jane? Yes. That would work for me. He's got the geek cred.
I could see that.
That's true.
He's got the geek cred. Everyone's seen him correcting the guy about Warhammer versus World of Warcraft.
Oh, lovely. Did they put him in Warhammer Total War?
Probably.
No, they did. He's a lore master of Hoeth, a character named Cavill. Lore master of Hoeth is like a swordsman that is also a wizard, just like Geralt. And he starts next to Altharion, who is like basically elf Batman.
Ooh.
So put Superman next to Batman.
We've been very rude. I need to turn the table over to these amazing people because I've introduced myself and they haven't had a chance to introduce themselves yet. We need to fix that. We're going to go around the table, introduce ourselves, where we can be found, who we are playing tonight, and as our role play warm up, how that character decorates their house for Yule. Because I think that's a fair, that kind of like that. I didn't have a question until I saw Chickadee's like, we're going live tweet with the what's under your Christmas tree. And I went, does Raylan have a tree? And if so, what's on it?
I know. Now I'm thinking about it too.
Like, let me just stick with the outside of their home / brownstone / apartment, if that's an easier angle to take. Because I'll tell you that House Noir, we are the house with the obnoxious number of inflatable holiday decorations in the front yard. And most of them are dinosaurs.
I like it.
I love it.
Fantastic.
Yeah, because that's the way we roll.
Christmas tree Rex.
Easter eggs are fine. So I'm playing Mouse and Nathan would come back, I think. But I've heard mixed things. So we'll see what happens. Okay. We're gonna let Malik lead off our round table tonight.
Sure. I'm Paul, aka Malik. You can find me on, I assume, Chickadee's Twitter post because no one's going to be able to spell my name. I am playing Drewmere Greyblade, and what is the way that Drewmere decorates for Yule is if he's in the area, he's able to make his way back to family. If not, he's able to go to a local, like dwarven, like beer hall kind of thing, and help them set up for beers, of course, but like and then in his place, probably something like a miniature tree with all the little accoutrements and miniature, because you can't really have a full-sized pine or whatever dwarves use in an apartment.
That's fair. And we'll go up and around clockwise. So Ari.
Hey, I am Akio Eri, aka Sharkira. You can find me on Twitch most nights. I feel like Sharkira would probably go for more of the minimalist style, like not even use colorful lights. She would probably just use like icicles and little bitty snowflakes and just a fancy snowman in her front yard. Just very minimal, but very elegant, as she is.
Fair enough. Arwen?
Hi, I'm Arwen. I'm playing Chrysanthemum Coriolis, and Chrysanthemum is the exact opposite. So her little halfling dwelling it looks like Christmas just threw up all over it. Her favorite time of year is when the Christmas decorations come out. She hasn't traveled a whole lot yet, being level 2, but she's got Christmas crap and knickknacks from every place she's ever been. And any homemade card or gift that anyone ever gave her is proudly displayed. And she runs around her house in her homemade ugly Christmas sweater. And it's her absolute favorite time of year. And there is no home as much decorated as Chrysanthemum's.
That tracks. Sorry, Chickadee.
You're gonna call me Raylona, which is appropriate too. And that's fine. I'll accept that.
Keep doing the opposite.
I know, me too. So anyways, I'm Chickadee. And you can find me on Twitter as Chaotic Neutral Chickadee, although I think my handle is less of Chickadee because my page was actually supposed to be something else when I first made it. But anyways, Raylona's house would be bad news for Santa's reindeer because she is proudly decorating with all the antlers she can find. And probably a few very poorly tied red bows.
Okay. That works. Decorating with dead animals.
As is tradition.
As is indeed tradition. I attended a wedding once that had a full vegan menu in a facility / house that was decorated in northern Michigan frontier.
Oh, no.
So
Very specific.
Like full-sized deer heads on the walls kinds of decorations.
And they went with that venue?
One way to do it.
I tried to engage the Moosehead in conversation about that topic, and he really didn't have much of an opinion, but we both looked equally perplexed by the situation in which we found ourselves. So there's that. Okay, my name again is Rob, aka Lantern Noir, and I am everybody else at our table tonight, which is a lot of the fun. So far, by way of recap, before we hit the opening titles and place in D&D, the party has been was contracted to recover someone who had gone missing, potentially kidnapped. Turns out they were kidnapped, which was good, sort of, in that you were off to find them. Then there was a case of mistaken identity because the people thought they were kidnapping somebody else, the son of the open lord of Waterdeep, Rainier Neverember. And in the process of tracking that down, you found your way down into the sewers, fought off a particular wizard-ish. I don't know, did you ever actually cast a spell before you murdered him?
I don't think we gave him a chance.
No.
No, he came down and was like, oh, and then that's that. You did, however, briefly encounter a Mind Flayer and its Intellect Devourer, which you also dispatched before it could do much damage.
Much damage.
We don't have much in terms of hit points, so even a small amount of damage was a lot.
True. There was
Yeah, I
a
like
whole...
how it almost took me out, and that wasn't much damage.
Good news, we probably have double hit points now.
Mm-hmm. Second level's much nicer. But you did rescue Floon. You have ingratiated yourselves to Rainier. You found your way back to report to Volo that you had rescued his friend, and he paid you in full by giving you the deed to property.
Did pay us legally and
Haunted
fully.
property that had mostly burned down.
Yes.
Property nonetheless.
Property, yes. A smoking hulk of a building where many years ago there had been some form of fire and appears to now be haunted, which is really not a big deal because tomorrow morning at sunrise, Waterdeep will repossess the property and demolish what's left and turn it into a combination graveyard green space, which there aren't enough of in the city when you stop and think about it. A few trees go a very long way. Just saying. But
Where's the fun in that, though?
that's where we left off. You had gotten up. You had your meeting with the lawyer from the Wadat, the Waterdeep Department of Deeds and Titles. And he had also offered to put you in touch with a member of the United Altar Workers who were happy to come deal with the ghost for you for a nominal fee, which is also an option you can pursue. Did I leave out anything from our recap?
What I can think of.
That sounds pretty comprehensive.
Okay, then if that is the case, let's roll the opening titles and play some D&D.
Yeah.
And there we go.
I don't have any right now, but
Cats are fun.
Cats are great.
Cats are fun. Cat jam indeed. As a pleasant reminder, two things that are going on that you as an audience can participate in. You will see links and a timer will come up periodically about donating to the Oxford Memorial Fund. Oxford, Michigan is very near to my home, and the Oxford Bank has a memorial fund to support survivors and families of the recent shooting massacre there. And just, I'm not tracking it. The links are there. The command is there. Feel free to use it. I will also add on to that. You can also influence the outcome of the game tonight. Your channel points can immediately force a reroll. It's on a cooldown, so be warned. But you can also give the players the opportunity to select when to take a reroll by contributing to the Book of Fate with your cheers. Every 100 cheers goes towards one reroll. The party can use at any time, and they start the night off with 2 rerolls in the bank. Now that's 2 for the party.
Sorry, guys.
Kinda.
Sounds all good.
It worked out just
no,
fine.
it worked out.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
It was good. I think they were well used last time.
absolutely.
And Polymorph, thank you for hosting us. Sorry it took me so long to mention that, but thank you for that. I think I got lost in the shuffle somewhere. And there you go, Ant Snail. There's the hat. As I get my heart rate back down after that whole, I usually have the hats here, and I had to run upstairs and grab it because I haven't in a while. So we'll go until my head gets too hot to keep the hat on. So you're at the sign of it has a name, the Heart and Crown. You've just watched as Silas Quillman has shuffled himself out of the door. You're staring down at a copy of the document you have all signed, which confirms that he has indeed informed you that you have till the sun rises tomorrow to de-ghostify your property.
Right. Would Chrysanthemum have any idea of like what kind of things would be involved in like getting rid of or freeing a ghost from a building like this? Does she have any idea like what that would involve, even in a general sense?
For free, without having to roll anything, I'll give the easy answer, which is you could just go kill it.
I mean, I'll roll for it. I mean, my
Other options.
Chrysanthemum's first thing isn't going to be, well, let's kill it. She's going to want to figure out.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but ghosts are semi-corporeal, something like that. So, like, slashing it with a sword might work a bit, but less so than something a bit more fleshy.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
But they can be disrupted significantly through arcane magic or even through mundane weapons, that eventually they will be disrupted and their tie to the physical realm will be ended. Now, if you want to roll a quick religion check, we can see if there's
I can do that.
more
Like,
options available to you.
what's the ghost equivalent of putting it in a jar and taking it outside is what I'm looking for.
Rehoming the ghost.
A big old 10.
Eh.
Yeah.
Eh.
You haven't really heard of any kind of a ghost trap per se. That's not really a trickster thing. There was that one half-elf that you remember from back in seminary who was very much interested in telling you about his theory of trapping ghosts. He had all these charts he had drawn up and all these diagrams. You just needed to come back to his quarters to review them, and you would see the brilliance he had. You're not really sure if he had anything there or not, because shortly after arrival in his quarters, you punched him in the groin and left.
For different
That's
reasons.
fair.
Yeah. There was a miscommunication, apparently.
Sure, just a misunderstanding.
Yeah. You do know, though, with the 10, I'll definitely give you, if whatever is holding the spirit to this realm, if there's any unfinished business, that can sometimes be what's necessary to help them cross over.
Okay.
So at this point, Drewmere has returned with 4 ales and sets them down at the table and say, okay, so what are we going to do about this? As he takes a long swig.
Sharkira reaches for 2 of the ales he's just dropped on the table, drinks them both down, and says, I say we should figure this out Scooby-Doo style.
What?
What does the spirit want?
Ah,
What's its unfinished business?
Okay.
Is it even real? Do we know?
I mean, I'm pretty sure it
definitely
was real. We were there for that part.
Raylona's gonna grab the last beer, leaving Chrysanthemum dry, and and just go, well, I'm not afraid of forcing it out if we have to.
Yeah, I think that would probably be cheapest too, although obviously a bit more dangerous. But plan A, see if we can figure out what it wants and do that. Plan B, force it out. Plan C, run away and just pay someone else to do it. This place is going to become a money pit, isn't it?
Feels that way.
If
Who
we
knows
could get
what's in
the
the
ghosts
house?
out, it also might save us money in a place to sleep. Even if
True.
I mean, it's not the best. It's not the best looking, best smelling place, but it would at least be free to sleep in. I say we try and figure out what it wants.
I think one of my parents was a mason, but I guess that wouldn't be terribly relevant. Let me double check. But yeah, anyway.
Because it ain't gonna do us any good if the city takes it back.
Right.
And then we're definitely down some money.
We're just out.
That means we just went and trudged through the sewers and nearly got mind flayed for free. And that's no good.
Oh, no.
So the way I see it, we can figure out, we have 24 hours basically to figure out if we can get rid of it or the city takes it, in which case we're just out whatever we've already put into it, which, I mean, we're not technically out anything. We just didn't get what we thought we were going to get. And if they take it from us tomorrow, then we're still pretty much where we left off. The only way we really lose more is if we pay the city to do it, to take care of it for us.
Excellent assessment.
I think we could.
Plus,
Well,
this sounds like more fun.
I was going to say we could probably pay a carpenter to give us an estimate on how much it would be in repairs, but I think we should probably deal with the supernatural hazard first.
Yeah, we don't need it burning down whatever we put up.
Exactly. Well then, why don't we make haste? We only have roughly 24 hours before all that comes to a head.
Maybe we
Ash
should
might
try
be
talking to
there.
the neighbors.
Do
It's a
we
great
have
idea.
neighbors?
Get some information. Well, like the surrounding,
Yeah.
if there's anybody we can find and see if we can figure out what happened.
There was a very knowledgeable barmaid
I
too.
was going to say, she
There
seemed pretty
was.
broken up about it.
That's true. I forget. Did she tell us anything concrete, or just that it? I remember her
It
saying
just
that it
seemed
seemed
so
like
sad.
a bummer. It seemed like a bummer to destroy the place and the spirit, but I don't remember if she gave us any information about.
I don't remember that she did.
I don't think
Okay.
she did.
So,
You want to flag her down?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's flag her down.
It's still morning. She's just doing the morning routine of getting the place ready for whoever's going to wander through for lunch, and probably actually has gone up to clean up your rooms at this point, since the assumption is that you will be probably sleeping somewhere else.
That's the plan. Fingers crossed.
That's the hope, yeah. Yeah, if we can flag her down.
Yeah, she'll actually come over to inquire, and if you want her to clean your rooms up, if you're staying for a second night.
We should give her an extra tip for Raylona's room.
Thanks.
Oh, also, Ari, it looks like you have not yet leveled up Sharkira.
Oh, how do I do this?
You go into the character sheet. There's a way to how do you manage? There's like a manage button or something.
Yep, it's right by your name. And while we're doing this, Bjorn, welcome. Always glad to have a friend of the Raven Armed here. We're doing a little bit of quick paperwork as we get the barmaid waved down. It also gives me a second to open the adventure and double check the neighbors to the particular establishment. So I have that handy for when we get there. Oh,
I think that saved. Maybe.
okay.
I did update it. But
I think second level for a wizard is relatively unexciting. You just get more spell slots.
Yeah, I think so.
You get to pick 2 new spells too, right? Do you get new spells? I think you get to learn 1 or 2 spells each level.
Yeah, I think so, but we can do that offline.
Yep. And if there's combat, we'll figure it out when we get there.
Yeah. So yeah, flagging her over.
Okay. Yeah, the girl comes over. She inquires as to whether or not you're going to stay another night. And when you agree no, she says, all right, then she's happy.
It actually seems likely. Even if we get the place cleared out, like I don't know that there's enough of a roof and a room to stay out the cold.
Oh, okay. Then
We'll have to find out. But
she won't touch a thing. Then your rooms will be exactly as you left them.
appreciated.
For the best.
I was curious. Do you happen to know anything about that house? We've got to clear it out at before sunrise, and any information you have about it, you seemed connected somehow.
Well, it seems sad. You said clear it out. Doesn't that mean destroying the spirit that's there? I mean, I've heard stories that the former owner is the spirit.
Who is the former owner?
As the DM double checks his notes. There it is. It was something of an alliteration. Mistress Sophia Starcrossed.
Well, with a name like that, there's got to be a great story behind it.
Well, it seemed to fit a bit. She was a half elf, if I remember right, and well, despite the name of Troll Skull, it had originally been, according to Father, a hunting lodge before Mistress Starcross bought it, and converted it into a
Brothel?
Yes. Father usually says a house of ill repute, but I don't think that's entirely fair.
There's a lot of houses of ill repute, but many different varieties.
Yes.
Gambling, for instance.
There may have been, but I don't think that would be it. But that's, I mean, there was a fire a few years ago.
It was a couple years back.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what caused the fire?
I can't say that I do.
The owner, the only person there at the time of the fire.
Oh, no, it was a very busy evening, if I understand the stories right.
Do you know anyone who was close to the owner?
I don't. I was just shy of 12 when it happened.
Oh, thank you so much for the information. We'll be able, hopefully we'll be able to help the spirit pass on naturally and not have to take any sort of violent action. But if we can't get it sorted out by morning, the city will.
That is true. Although, to be truthful, this area could use a green space. Trees are very good for community building.
If we can get the spirit out, who knows? Maybe we could sell the land back to the city.
There's an idea.
That would
Get
be a
our
thing.
value.
Do you know, is there anywhere we could go? Anyone we could ask who might know more about the owner and the situation around the fire?
Not that I can think of. I thought I overheard you say something about inquiring with the neighbors. Someone in that part of the town may have known something. Or the city watch, perhaps. They usually have reports if you have a contact that can get you more information and go in depth.
Well, we appreciate the insight. I will leave an extra gold on the table for her that I will remove from my thing.
Whoop. It barely touches the table before it is whisked away.
On the wrong character sheet. Like, why can't I remove the gold here? Why can't I remove your gold?
Typical dwarven problem.
There we go.
The rogue cannot remove your gold. Why do you have a rogue then?
Yeah, what's the point of a rogue?
What is the purpose of the rogue?
Well,
He's the
till we find our
distraction.
way over there. Maybe we can see where one of the city watch outposts is.
Okay, so where are you headed then? Is it over to the buildings around it, or do you want to head for a city watch outpost?
Want to split up like true Scooby-Doo style?
Sounds good.
Let's go.
There's one thing I know about Dungeons and Dragons. It's always split the party.
Always split.
More efficient.
Always. Always.
But yeah,
Take
no, actually, I think
Let's go, Raylona.
All right.
All right.
who's going where?
I called Sharkira, so you're with Chrysanthemum. You guys spend some quality time together.
Yay.
Build that relationship.
The shorts and the talls
The shorts and the talls.
is basically what we've done.
It's easy on walking paces that way.
That's true.
This
True.
is true.
Science.
Although I've kind of gotten used to being carried by Chickadee, so
Leaning over to Chrysanthemum, I say, "You think we should trust them with the city watch one, or
We might want to take that one. Let's volunteer. We'll cover. We'll go talk to the watch.
You should do most of the talking. I hate talking to the pigs.
I got this.
I think you guys should check out the neighbors, see if they know anything.
Sounds fair. I feel we're sociable enough. We can get them talking.
Yeah. Although I did realize that we just split the two like smooth talkers off in the same group. And us plus antisocial people in the other group.
I mean, how else are you gonna get better at it?
You kind of want the smooth talkers talking to the officials. I feel like
You're gonna come back later, and the neighbors are gonna be like, "Why are the neighbors tied to chairs? Like, what's going on here, guys?"
The building's somehow more on fire than it was before.
They're chasing you down the street with pitchforks.
Yep, that may happen. Maybe we'll see.
That indeed may. So you set out into the snow, and it's the wind is starting to kick up in the morning, and there's a bit of a flurry. So visibility down the streets is a little bit shaky. And more than a couple of times, Chrysanthemum actually kind of like just pauses to turn her back into the wind and stand for a moment and then resume again.
How high is the snow? Can I walk down the street?
The roads are mostly clear of snow. It's just the wind and the snowfall that's becoming a bit of an annoyance more than an impediment. But it doesn't take you too long to find your way to one of the city watches.
I can't imagine that scale mail's terribly warm.
No, it's heavy and it's noisy, but it's not particularly insulating.
Well, it's the leather and the padding underneath it, though.
That's true.
Fair, yeah.
It's better than just walking around in a t-shirt.
There is that. When you get up to the City Watch building, one of the guards spots you coming up, and you have business with the watch.
We have some questions for the watch, actually. Chrysanthemum Coriolis, pleasure to meet you. I stick out my hand.
Takes your hand, shakes it. Watches as you emphatically bounce up and down. His arms kind of noodles as you do it.
Yep, that's my signature handshake.
And he has no visible reaction other than, So you have business with the City Watch?
Yes, we were hoping to inquire about a piece of property that we've just come into ownership of. The Troll Skull Tavern, or is that what it was?
Troll Skull Manor.
Troll Skull Manor, that's right.
So you're the
we
new
just bought a
owners.
haunted house, and we have some questions about how to unhaunt it.
And what happened in the first place?
Well, non-corporeal entities are not to the purview of the City Watch. They're going to have to take that up at one of the temples or the UAW.
Right.
I think takes care of that.
The incident with the fire, I'm sure there was an investigation launched of some kind.
The fire, that was a tragic thing, that was.
Yeah. Do you know about it, or?
Though I wasn't on DeForce yet.
But do you know about it? Were you there?
Everyone talks about it from time to time. You walk past there and you still smell the smoke.
Yeah. There's something going on with that. Hopefully we'll get it sorted out soon.
You'd think after this many years it would be like, done a burning.
Yeah.
But it's
One
not.
would think.
It's creepy. Gives me the heebie-jeebies. I actually paid 3 silver not to have to walk that patrol anymore.
I don't blame you.
We got the new guy. Don't know his name yet. You never learned their names when they're new. You got to go at least a year on DeForce before you learn their name.
So the new guy's been patrolling there for a while?
Well, not a year yet because I don't know his name.
Right.
I don't even ask until it's been a year. I already forgot yours. Just met you.
Chrysanthemum Coriolis, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Not going to matter till I've known you a year.
I'll have to just keep coming back and telling you. Do you know where we can find the guy who does the patrols?
Or talk to someone in records?
So what kind of records you need?
Anything about the incident?
I can see what I can find. Come. Hang on. Let me get someone to cover my post, and we'll take you in and see if there's anything in the records.
Well, thank you. That'd certainly be nice of you.
He pops his head in and There's some noise from within, and a young woman comes out looking like she's, her armor's like, her breastplate's like slightly not hung right. And she's got that look of like, I'm about to stand out in the cold and this is going to suck and I don't want to do this. Yeah, she's new too. Joined the force about 2 months ago. Don't know her name neither.
We'll try to be quick.
Congratulations.
It's Katarina. Doesn't matter. Don't need to know. You're probably not going to make it a year. I don't know why they insist on telling me. I ain't got the room in here to store all them names.
I'm just gonna like sidle over to Katarina and shake her hand. It's nice to meet you.
Pleasure. No, he's more one that would be back into owl bears.
Sorry, owl bears? In the city?
Well, no, never mind. So
Wait, there's bears here?
Bears.
Chrysanthemum, I mean, this is probably the first big city Chrysanthemum's been to, and she's like, wait.
I mean, usually the whole point of a city is to keep bears out. Well, bears and other things.
But there's a couple of the gangs. They do them fighting pits where they bring in all kinds of animals. When the captain hears about one of those things, that turns into the kind of raid and bloodbath. That's why I don't be learning nobody's name's not been here a year.
That makes sense
Right.
then.
They don't know to duck yet.
That's a very useful skill. Got an advantage on that, I say.
If you want to see a pension, you gotta learn to duck. Anyway, the records are back here.
Some life advice.
And he heads in towards one of the back rooms. And there's just racks of books and records and dates, and he starts pulling things out. He's like, I think I got something here. I just need you to sign a couple of the forms.
Uh-oh.
Now, which
I got this.
agency are you here with again?
I'm going to make a quick check to see if I know an agency that would be particularly. Wait, I do. It's the Wadat.
Who did?
What was it? The
What?
The Waterdavian something records and.
Roll an intelligence check.
Yep. Oh, that was a save. Let me roll a check.
Malik can't remember, but maybe Dremir can.
Maybe Tremere can.
I actually might have written it down, come to think of it.
The Waterdeep Department of something.
Yeah.
Well, that in shack.
Oh, there it is. Waterdeep Department of Deeds and Titles, I think.
Oh, you spared yourself from that 7.
Yeah.
There you go.
This is why we take notes.
Oh, okay, the Wadat. I just need to be seeing your badge to get down to number on here.
So, well, I mean, I've got it memorized. I can just write it in there for you.
Oh, I got you.
It's faster this way.
Pulls out a lead pen and licks it a couple of times and starts to make a note. And actually, I don't need to know your name because I ain't known you a year yet. So just put your name here, and then
Right.
put your badge number there.
Right. And I will create.
Remember
a name
the
on
guy?
the
Do you remember the guy who came? I don't care. Do you remember the guy?
yeah,
remember the guy who
actually.
came to talk to us?
You know what?
Put his name down.
You know what? Silas Quillman. I will put down Silas Quillman. And actually, I have a number. Oh no, that's I thought I had his badge number too. That'd be too good. I don't think we ever asked it. I had 100 to 800 written down. I'm like, what? How would I possibly have? No, that was the price of the exorcism.
Yeah.
So I will put Silas Quillman down and just pick like 8 or 9 numbers to like write down.
He says, we'll talk about that later because we got business.
Right.
We got to be talking about that. Yeah. He puts a book down, flips open. According to this, let's see here. The cause of the fire was arson, it seems.
Arson? Really?
That's what they were thinking by the end of the investigation.
Who would have had something against one. He actually checks his notes. Sophia Starcrossed?
Oh, yeah, that was the dame what ran the joint.
Yeah.
Oh, did you know her?
Oh, only by reputation. The missus would never let me anywhere near a joint like that, nor would I want to. See, she's retired. She used to do the adventure and ding, and I don't. She retired by choice. I don't want to mess that up.
So she knows how to duck.
Oh, she taught me. Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, sure. We'll say that.
But there was, you think, some foul play here? That someone wanted to burn the place down?
That's usually what Darson means.
Right. Did you know who they were suspecting, maybe?
Oh, yeah. Let me see. There was an effort to investigate a Torben Buckman, but it never panned out much.
Who is that?
That would be the guy they thought did it.
Did he have any kind of record?
He was involved in a couple of gangs. Let me see. There's a cross-reference to another book. Hang on. I'll have to go find it.
Sure.
He goes off. He shifts through more books. And kind of puts it down. Let's see here. According to this, Buckman was involved in a gang that was all humans. They had it in them that Waterdeep was for humans only.
Yeah, Dreamer's eyes kind of narrow a little bit at that. I see.
Is this guy? What race is this guy we're talking to?
He's also human.
He's also human. Okay. I'm not going to comment on that then.
No. What was the name of that group in Shadowrun? Like the Human Polis or something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
Let's see here. Wait. Hang on. According to this, suspected arson, but here it is. Here's the official account of the events. Unattended candles.
Unattended candles.
That's what it says here. The official cause of the fire: unattended candles. They ruled out arson because the one guy they thought did it. He had alibi.
Right. Okay. All right. Do you know if he's still in Waterdeep?
I ain't seen him in a while. I don't run with people like that on account of the missus don't like it when I hang around with that sort of people. Kind of like she didn't like it when I hung around places like the Troll Skull Manor.
Right.
The missus,
your missus sounds like a wise lady.
Oh, sure. We'll say that. Sure. Why not?
She seems like a hell of a woman.
Yeah, sure. We'll say that. But let's see here. According to this, the fire was in the middle of the afternoon. Place was mostly empty. Total loss. That's what I got.
I look to Chrysanthemum. I say, anything else we need?
No, I think that's enough to start with. Thank you for your time. You've been very helpful.
Yeah, no, it's all good. Now I just got to know, Mr. Quillman. I just want to what's been going on that you ain't been making it to the Mrs.'s bridge games. Because you and Mrs. Quillman play with her and the guy down the street. I'm usually working on Thursday nights, and she's been whining that you ain't been coming the last couple of weeks. So is there something you want? I thought you were taller. Not that I got nothing against no dwarves or nothing, but I met Mrs. Quillman. Because I've known her 2 years now, so I know who she is.
Right.
Mr. Quillman, maybe you can settle this later. We do have that meeting we've got to get to.
Yes, of course. I'd love to chit-chat.
Well, I got to tell the missus, and he's like following you out. I got to tell the missus something about where you've been.
Tell the missus that Mr. Quillman will make an appointment with her, and he'll be sure. I shoot him like a, we've been through this glare. He'll make sure he makes it next time.
I don't think she's going to like that.
It's just been crazy.
We'll tell you what,
recently.
you come by this afternoon and let's just square it up. My shift is ending in about 4 hours. So if you come by around dinner, That'll be a good chance. It'll give me a chance to get to know you. You're in my house every week.
I mean, my schedule's very busy. I'm not sure I'll be able to.
We'll see what we can do.
Well,
see
do
what
I
we
got to
can
be
do.
sticking the watch on you?
No. I mean, we wouldn't want that, of course. Well, I'll be able to swing by, I'm sure, sometime soon.
Okay, I'll tell the missus I saw you, though. I could have sworn you were tall because I thought Okay.
Give the missus our best regards.
Oh, naturally. Although I won't remember who you are. Well, because just met you and all.
Understandable. We'll introduce ourselves
gotta-
next time we see you.
We gotta get going.
Meanwhile, across town.
He shuffles away. Whew, that was close.
Oh boy.
Mission successful.
Meanwhile, across town, Sharkira and Raylona come up on the smoldering ruins of Trollskull Manor and take stock of the street on either side of it. Immediately noticeable around the alley are a collection of different shops. There's a one has a there's no sign. Hey, Shadow. There's no placard set out, but the door right above the top middle of it has a massive, oversized bent nail sticking in it.
That sounds intriguing. We should
There's
get in.
another one that's currently belching smoke. And you can see if you kind of glance over towards it that there is a forge with a sign out front that reads the Steam and Steel. There's
Probably been there for a while.
There's an herbalist with a sign up that says the Corellan's Crown. Arwen, thank you for hosting me over on your section, by the way. Yay, hosts. Let's see. There's one sign that just has a large orange and black. The sign is black with orange trim and just has a pair of cat eyes painted on it.
I'm intrigued.
I'm very intrigued by that.
There's also a bookstore.
Cat eyes.
Let's go.
We're here for an adventure. I think Raylona and I are ready to just conquer the world here. So we're gonna go with the most mysterious one first, since we are here to kind of solve a mystery, right, Raylona?
I think we're in the right place. I think this is good.
I think so.
Oh no, we lost the DM.
Uh-oh. Oh, something's happening. I'm slightly hoping for like a costume change or something. If that's
That'd be great.
Hopefully everything's fine.
He said keep role playing.
All right. So what do you think's inside this building, Raylona?
It's a good question. Cats are always seen as bad luck, so to have the cat eyes, black cats in particular.
Oh,
How dapper.
Nice hat.
I like it.
Ooh. Schmancy.
Yep, we're here.
Okay.
They just stop talking right when you put your headphones on.
Okay, good. As I was like, wait a second. There's no sound now. What happened?
It's a nice hat.
What happened?
Very nice.
I figured since I'm stuck wearing hats tonight. Literally. I'd get the right hat for the moment.
Like it.
You approach the shop. The windows have heavy curtains drawn over them. And at first the door is locked. You do see a pull next to it that you can a lever to pull back and ring a bell.
Ring, ring.
You hear a series of chimes inside, and then there's a clack near the door, unlocking it.
Okay. Well, if nobody opens the door, I won't be shy and I will push the door open.
Realize the first through the door. The office is the best way to describe it. There's a desk small distance away, a couple of chairs in front of it. Off to the side is an old couch. The leather is cracked and worn. The curtains are drawn, so the room's relatively dark. It's lit by a few collections of candles, candelabras, a few oil lamps. And there's a kind of a thin layer of pipe smoke that just sort of fills the entire space. A gentleman in a high-collared shirt with a black, neatly tied cravat is sitting back in the chair watching as you come in. There they were, two shadows coming across my door, drifting in with the wisps of snow at their tail, like halos around their heads. He takes a long pull on a thin pipe, and sort of blows it out under his mouth.
Unfortunately, I love it.
So what can I do for you two dames? Come on in out of the snow before you turn yourselves frosty.
Sharkira whips out her own pipe to make him feel a little more comfortable.
Say, you look like the man who knows a story.
Stories is what we trade in every day, every person. I just organize mine better than the rest.
Speaking of stories, sir, would you happen to know any certain stories about Troll Skull Manor? Good words, mouth memory times.
You got it.
Well, stories. There's hundreds of stories. Talk to 25 people in this neighborhood, you'll hear 30 different tales of what befell the Troll Skull Banner. The key is to picking out the fact from the fiction, the truth from the tale. That's where you hire a professional.
To tell the story, to hire a professional? But you seem like a professional, sir.
Oh, I'm not a storyteller now. That isn't my thing. I just make sure that when the stories are told, they're accurate. So you tell me, what stories have you heard that brought you to darken the doorstep of one Tiger's Eye Investigations?
Haven't heard many stories, sir, but we do know that there is some sort of spirit living in the manor, and we're trying to discover a little more about it. Which is why we have come here to your humble abode.
Well, you're not completely off base with that. That's a story I've heard quite a few times now. There was a dame what crossed the wrong guy. He didn't have the courage to face her direct, so he turned to a bit of flint and steel to do what his courage would not allow. Of course, you talk to any of the constabulary, they spin a different yarn, say it was unattended candles that caught one of the curtains, took the place up. But this particular fella, he wasn't too shy around the bottle, if you take my meaning. After a couple of drinks and maybe a cute girl's wink, he'd start telling the stories of how he brought down the famous Mistress Starcrossed.
In your humble opinion of accuracy, professional opinion of accuracy, I should say, how accurate do you think his story is?
Well, I think the problem we're now running into, my dear sweet dame, is that you're asking a professional opinion of someone of whom you have not engaged professionally.
Sharkira looks at Raylona and just goes,
Raylona's gonna pull out her coin purse. Hold on, I probably should check my coin purse first. Where am I hiding that?
While you're looking, Lil Vamp Queen, welcome to the community. We're so glad you're hanging out with us tonight. We appreciate you. I think Raylona might still be on starting money.
Yeah, I am, and I can't for some reason find where my money is.
It's in the inventory section.
It is
That's where
currently
I was
empty.
looking. Well then, oh yeah, oh I see it. That's why I couldn't find it.
Because you don't have any.
What?
There's a token. So Raylona pulls out her coin purse and shakes it a little bit, and there's absolutely no sound. There's just nothing.
I'm looking to see if I have any, but I'm not seeing anything either.
Under inventory tab, you have 15 gold to your name at the present.
Oh, there we go.
And while we're double checking our paperwork, Iron Knight, welcome to you as well. Thank you for following and thank you for joining our little community. Don't be afraid to kibitz and offer ideas unless you already know how this story unfolds. I
Seeing
don't.
she has no gold, Raylona is going to pull up her pant leg a little bit and reveal her ankle, to which has been adorned with this beautiful, beautiful piece of bone. Yeah. And I will present it as a very powerful magical item.
Roll me persuasion.
This is about to get
Come
real
on,
interesting.
20.
I'm so glad you brought that back out. I'm so excited.
I'm so glad I have popcorn.
For those that are catching up, that was this was an artifact that was purchased from a gnome huckster that ran a curio shop a few episodes back. So well played, and with a 14, he is totally in on that as a bit of retainer. I'll even forego the necessities of signing the documentation. He takes out a little box. He opens it up. It has like a velvet lining on it. So sets it on the side of his desk.
Oh, I'll begrudgingly take it off. Let him know that I'll miss it dearly.
So, yeah, I would say that it tracked pretty tight. Seems, of course, the thing that the watch didn't want to question is that every man who swore he knew where Torben was that day was a card-carrying member of the that little humans with humans, elves with elves group that he ran with.
What was the gentleman's name again? Once more.
Torben Buckman, if memory does serve. He slides open a drawer and starts to shuffle through various parchments in it before he pulls one out and unfolds it to review. Oh, yes. Yeah. Of course, you're going to have a hard time interviewing him.
Why is that?
Oh, looks like about 3 months back, he decided to permanently drown his sorrows in a particular bottle of some pretty fine whiskey.
I see.
He took the blackout drunk to a whole new level. Which
Seems to be that way.
Paul furiously types in to see whether or not a particular spell is available to one of our party members.
as a recommendation.
Yeah, I was seeing how Speak with Dead works in this edition.
It's not that old. I don't think. Although maybe it does. I don't know. How far back does it work?
Third level, anyways.
Ah,
If we can afford to like get a third level scroll or service like that, then we might as well invest that in.
that would be a thing. But he consults his notes. Yeah, so he'll be a hard one to interview. Unfortunately. Now, you might be able to track down some members of that gang he was running with. But they don't exactly wear badges and all, being it kind of uncouth to be some out there plugin to split Waterdeep's wards up into an elf ward and a human ward and a gnome ward and a, gosh forbid, a halfling ward. Offense not intended, my friend.
Well,
occurs to me that we don't actually have any humans in the party.
It does.
We don't.
Or don't.
I'm half human. Got a little in the bloodline there.
Yeah. Anyways,
Ilona's going to mention, as a professional and as we seeking out answers in a professional, and putting forth payment to a professional, shouldn't you be the one seeking this information for us?
Well, I'd be happy to. If you want to engage me for it, I can go find every member of that particular gang for you. Just take me about 3-4 days. Now see the way you shifted in the chair there, you ain't got 3-4 days now, do you?
Got 3 hours.
Yeah, 3 hours.
I hope you got a lot more under that skirt than to put up in this box, because there ain't no way I'm going to find all those guys in 3 hours on that trade-off. Now, I can tell you this. There's a gentleman runs a shop up the street, makes watches. He might have been in the establishment time of the fire. Fellow's name is Gibbons. Or if you go back down towards the docks ward, right before you get into the scary part, there's a confectionery. Can't miss it. Smells as sweet as you too when you walk through that door. Now, you don't want the confectionery. You want the young lady what runs a one-person establishment above it. Name's Cooperkin. You're going to probably need an appointment, but I'm pretty sure the confectioner will let you through if you butter him up just right. She was another one of the girls who worked that joint.
No.
And, according to this, there's a fellow works a forge not far from here neither. Guy's name is Hammersmith. Wasn't it back then? That's what he goes by now. You might have an idea or two. And, and if you bump into the watch, you can always ask after one particular Miss Ice Tank. She was a bouncer. Now, do you feel you've been adequately provided for the payment you have offered?
Well, sir, you don't understand. That was quite the magical item, but I suppose I can part with what we've been given.
Well, feel free to ask for more if you want it. Not too much sure how much I got here in my file, though. But I would definitely welcome a return visit.
I'm going to look at a... Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. You go ahead.
I was going to say, I'm going to look at Sharkira and ask maybe if we should go to the forge, seeing as it's close by.
Let's go ahead and check out our fortunes at the forge, see what we can dig up.
Now, be careful now. Colm, he's down by the docks. You don't want to be talking back here. If you're thinking about the steamworks behind us here, that's not exactly the joint you want to be inquiring at. I mean, you can inquire, but I don't think you're going to find what you want, because I'm pretty sure those particular types, they'd be quite happy to see a combination graveyard green space go in there. It's all about the trees. Say it's
Damn
good for community.
trees.
I don't know. I'm not going to lie. I kind of thought that the old troll skull was good for the community. Never had a gripe with Miss Darkcross. She never had one with me as far as I knew. Prettier girl I ain't never seen, I don't think. Always hated to see her go, but sure as hell loved to watch her leave.
Oh. Shakira secretly wishes she had a magical inkling as well. She looks at Raylona and asks, "Well, you think we should try a look at the confectionery then? If the forgery may or may not be a dead end."
Yeah, I think that's our next best bet.
Well, thank you, kind sir, for your assistance. should we need further assistance, may we have a return visit and discuss more of the matter with you.
The door will always be open to you two.
Oh, thank you.
You go to let yourselves out, and the door is locked. Oh, sorry about that. And reaches under the corner of the desk and throws a switch. And you hear a clack, and the door is unlocked.
All right. Well, I guess we'll make our way to the confectionery then.
Let's go. Get the heck out of here. Ooh.
If you have a lollipop hat next, I'm going to be really impressed.
No, I wish. No.
I'm not that good.
Cupcake, maybe.
You have a chance as you come out and start making your way down towards the docks area. Drumir and Chrysanthemum are actually coming back up towards where you are, having left the watch post.
And again, if he asks, it's a very common name. It was an honest mistake.
Gonna look at Drumir a little oddly.
Or better yet, we just say, like, that definitely wasn't me. You know, dwarves look all alike to humans, I'm sure. Oh, hey, there you two are. So what have you found?
Not a terrible much. We did learn that this gentleman told us that the City Watch likes to spin a story of arson and unattended candles. However, supposedly it was someone wanting revenge against the Mistress Sophia.
That is what they told us. I imagine they just didn't want the place looked into too much. You know, maybe dig up too much about the watch or something like that. I don't know. There was one person that was marked on the case, but they said they never actually looked into it.
Wonder if they even could have paid off the watch.
Who knows? But yeah, this Torben Buckman and his, you know, all-human xenophobic gang or whatever. But that's pretty much all we got.
That's what we heard as well. But we were on our way to a confectionery to speak to, I forgot her name, above the confectionery.
A name was not given, but yeah. Someone who is residing above. A one-woman operation, I think it was described as.
We may have to convince the person below, but I think between the four of us, we could mayhaps pull that off.
Sure. You said there was someone above it? How are they related?
Not quite sure. We were directed towards the confectionery.
The
And-
confectioner needs buttering up, so we may go
Yes.
above and speak to our tenant upstairs who runs her one-woman business.
Confectionery needs buttering up.
Oh.
No pun intended.
I suppose that would make sense. Yeah.
Okay, you make your way through the snow. It has started to worsen as you've gone. In fact, it turns into a case of Relona walks leaning in with Chrysanthemum like right behind her in the lee of her body. So as the wind's blowing down the street, that's the one pocket Chrysanthemum can find where she doesn't lose her balance every time it gusts. And they're starting to get drifts. They're starting to form up in the alleyways as it continues to snow. It's not too hard as you start to approach the docks area. You can make a quick request of one of the town watch that's there. And there's really only one confectionery in this part of town, and he points you at it. The sign is simply a two peppermint sticks crossed on a placard that's bouncing in the wind, threatening to be pulled right off of its iron framework that it's hanging from.
Chrysanthemum identifies. That's a mood.
That's a mood
Okay.
indeed.
Well, Raylona is gonna head to the door and help herself in.
Okay.
Doors don't scare me.
I ain't afraid of no doors.
I'm afraid of no doors.
You let yourselves in. Everything is white. And there's rows of glass cases that show freshly made cupcakes, strudels, popovers, anything you can think of with sugar in it is present en masse. And from the smell of it, fresh.
I get momentarily distracted by everything that looks so amazing.
You can actually feel your pancreas kicking into high gear just standing in this space. As it's like, ooh, sugar, sugar, sugar.
So much sugar.
A girl behind the counter is wiping at the glass, and then she kind of leans over and breathes on, blows on it so it frosts up, and then wipes it down again. And she looks up, and as the four of you come in, she immediately kind of takes stock of the four of you and goes, "Hello, can I help you?"
I wipe a little bit of drool off my mouth and wave. Chrysanthemum Coriolis, it's a pleasure to meet you. Wow, this place smells amazing.
Are you gonna rob us?
What?
And you watch as she's starting to reach back towards this gold braided rope that's hanging behind her.
No. Why would we want to rob you?
You're not from around here.
I'm legitimately flummoxed and confused. But
I kind of look at the rest of us like, we don't look that out of sight, do we?
Ilonan's gonna look at Drumir and be like, I know he looks a little sketchy, but he's a good person, truly.
And I know
just
she
came here for
smells
the
a little
cakes.
funky. Well, I know she smells a lot funky, but I promise she's a lot nicer than she smells.
I can wait outside if you're more comfortable. Get me a scone, would you?
Ilona doesn't even consider that she might be the problem.
Did you want something? Can I beg something for you?
I'm gonna look around.
Ilona's gonna pull out her change purse again and see again that it is empty. So she's gonna reach in her bag and pull out the dead remains
Oh no.
of the hero that she is, and present them for
Bam!
her
And as soon as the removed decayed finger comes out of the bag, she pulls on the chain behind her,
Oh no.
and you hear this bong.
Oh boy.
I was halfway pulling out my coin purse. I'm like, what?
Guys, I thought this would work. I'm sorry.
And
It
she
worked really
just
well at the last place.
stands there as the blood drains from her face.
I'll wait outside.
And then you hear footsteps
Truman's just I'm out.
from the kitchen behind.
Ah.
And by footsteps, I mean footsteps.
Oh no.
Heavy.
And you look and you
Oh,
look through
no.
the arched doorway, and you see the middle to bottom torso of a figure. And then
Guys,
the
it's
head
fine.
comes through and stands up. And there's this massive ogre in a white apron with a little white paper hat. Is there a problem out here?
I think there's been a bit of a
I
misunderstanding.
have a souffle in, and the timing is critical.
I'm stunned. I'm just gonna kind of go, do you have any donuts?
He looks down at the girl. You rang because she asked for donuts? And the girl, you can tell, she's starting to shake. No, she tried to pay me with a dead finger. Whose dead finger is being offered?
You can pay with
Ilona,
coin.
will you
I
put
think
the finger
Lena, you
away?
should-
This is not the right time.
That's
I
not
have some
currency.
coin.
Berlin was gonna sigh, and she's gonna mention that it was the remains of a great hero and would make for a great trophy decoration and good luck charm, but I'll put it away for now. It seems you only accept coin payment here.
I say she's not from around here. I'll cover her. My treat. And I hold out like my purse. It's like, look, I have money. I have actual money.
Okay. I don't want to miss the timing on the souffle.
No, we don't want that either.
Why don't we make this less complicated? Rulona, why don't you come with me outside?
I'm gonna kind of nudge Sharkira and be like, sure you see the tenant. I'll go outside with Dramir.
I think we spooked her.
I don't know what went wrong. Everything was going well.
I mean, we're very imposing.
You are a little intimidating.
Thank you.
Yes, I think Dramir was the problem in that encounter.
Oh, for
Dramir,
sure.
You just pushed her over the edge.
I knew he looked a little sus, like right from the beginning there, but
Took it too
We were
far.
good until the dwarf walked in.
I hope they give me a scone, though. They smelled amazing.
Chrysanthemum remembers you asking for a scone, but you didn't specify what kind, so it might be it's a surprise.
Yep. Mhm.
Life's full of surprises.
like dead remains being
Like dead fingers being offered to
used
you.
as currency.
Did you?
I'm sure it's valuable to someone.
To the two still in there, the ogre remains. He had dust his hands, these big, like, head-sized clouds of flour just fill the air briefly as just massive hands come together.
You should go back to your souffle. We'll be on our best behavior.
You
I
said
promise.
something about a tenant. Are you here for more than my baked goods?
I'm gonna
Sharkira
look
looks
at
Chris.
Barry.
Oh, we look at each other and we're like, say something. Say something. Well, I heard about the wonderful souffle, so I wanted to inquire about that, but I think Chrysanthemum may or may not want to speak to the tenant.
We
Do
did
you have an appointment with her?
How do we get an appointment with her?
If you have to ask, you don't have an appointment.
That's correct.
Sharkira walks up to the counter, puts her hand on it and says, "Sir, this is of the utmost urgency. What can we do? How many souffles does it take to get to speak to the tenant?"
Looks at the girl. Bag up a dozen donuts, 5 scones, and 2 truffles. And the girl, like her cheeks burst with red color as she gets to work quickly, running around. He leans on the counter, and he's still above you. She's a nice kid. There was an incident with her father that I felt responsible indirectly for. So I pay her.
She seems like a very hard worker.
You look over and she's just like, her hands are shaking as she's filling the bags. She's a little jumpy.
Perfectly understandable. I'm sure she has good reason to be.
Why?
It's a scary place out there. I've only been here for a couple of days and I almost died yesterday. It's scary out there.
Pulls out this sliver of cheesecake and sets it down on the counter in front of you. On the house.
Ooh, thank you.
You.
I love cheesecake.
Cheesecake is my favorite. How did you know? Thank you.
You can go up and see Miss Cooperkin with my blessing and remind her the rent is late.
We'll be sure to do that, sir.
And then he ducks under the doorway back into the kitchen. Floop, a little box slides across the counter towards you.
How much do we owe you, my dear?
4 gold.
You've got it.
I'll pitch in too.
The girl points at a doorway right next to the entrance to the confectionery, actually, that's got a curtain across it. And she'd be up those stairs.
Thank you.
Which would also give you a chance to grab the rest of your party as you head up. If you
Yeah.
want.
I think that's a good idea.
I mean, I don't know that we want to spook her. We've kind of done that a bit already.
Premier
I'm sure
is a
you do
little
have it.
intimidating.
I can be very intimidating.
The beard.
But the minor note I didn't want to let pass by is that it was an emergency for Chrysanthemum. The concept of emergency work of this kind is fantastic.
Well, thank you.
So are you taking the whole party up, or are you still sticking with the 2 that are going? Or Rilona sounds like she's perfectly happy to go, so I don't want to cut anybody out of the scene if they don't want to be.
Hey,
Do we
Noah.
have to go through the confectionery and up, or is there like
No, it's like
a
right by the
side
entrance. So like you could
Oh,
walk in
okay.
and go straight on up practically.
Okay.
Of course, whoever's working the counter has a clear sight of that door, and you're pretty sure that if someone tries to do that, that's not supposed to. That
Right.
pull gets pulled.
Yeah.
Fair.
And then there's a very angry baker.
Yes. So let's maybe just go the 2 of us, Ari. Or,
Sounds like a good idea. And in case I don't know what would happen, but in case something does happen, well, you for help.
Yep. I have a loud voice when I want to.
I have heard of that.
And make a lot of noise. Okay, let's head up just the 2 of us.
Okay.
Let's go.
You head up the stairs, and stairs go up, they switch back, and there's a little landing at the very top. The door is uninteresting. Best way to describe it.
Polished off my part of the cheesecake already, and I'm nomming on a donut.
Sharkira's down 4 donuts already. to go with her bacon from earlier that morning.
All the bacon.
Do I have to resubmit the artwork? I'm starting to get a little nervous here. Like, what exactly is the dark elf metabolism?
She doesn't
I mean,
care.
we've had a pretty stressful 24 hours, so
Yeah.
I mean, we know halflings can eat like crazy,
Oh yeah.
but
Sharkira is just she's been living alone most of her life, so just all these new different foods. She's got to catch them all. She's got to try them all.
So maybe it's not the metabolism, it's the digestion we should be worried about.
Probably.
Like all the new
should I
like
be
the
making
first-
you roll con checks for all of these sudden sweets that you're imbibing?
Do you want me to click the button? I can.
No. We're
One
we're
check for
good
10
for
slices of bacon.
now. We're good for now. But okay, so you get
That
up.
eighth donut, you're gonna have to give us something.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna like take the bag from Ari and just like stick it in my bag or something.
Okay.
And then I will knock on the door.
Okay. You can knock on the door a couple of times. And there's you knock, there's not a lot of sound. And you knock a second time and you can hear something. And the door kind of pops open. And there's a woman standing there. She's dressed in a simple silk robe that she's kind of holding closed at her chest. And she kind of looks at both of you. I'm sorry. Who are you? I don't have anyone booked this afternoon.
Hi, it's nice to meet you. We are looking for some information, and we were told that you might be able to help us.
How did you get in here?
We bought a lot of pastries. And they're
we did.
so good.
I ate a lot of them because they were so good. But we really
She did. She ate a lot of them. And I've had a couple too, and I'm gonna eat some more later.
Not to let everybody and their cousin up here.
But we're not cousins, so that counts for anything.
Did mention that the rent was late.
He did also mention that the rent was late, so. But we only have a couple questions, and then we'll be out of your hair. I promise.
All right, come in.
Thank you.
And you,
Chrysanthemum Coriolis. It's a pleasure to meet you.
yes, Pippa Cooperkin.
Pippa Cooperkin. Oh, that's fun to say. I like that.
Yes, my father was a Cooper, and it kind of stuck.
Pippa Cooperkin. I'm gonna say it to myself a couple times.
A lot of things about him kind of stuck. And she has brown hair that's got really tight, thick curls that spill down over her shoulders. And as you come into the room, the first thing that you cross over from the smell of baked goods into a strong smell of incense.
Phew.
There's cushions, there's a couch, different kinds of candles have been lit. Actually, they're not lit. They're kind of just, they're not lit. Most of the light comes from a pair of oil lamps that are up on the tables. And she kind of just flops on the couch, crosses her legs, and how can I help?
Super nice place you got here. Would you like a donut?
No, I would not, thank you.
Okay.
I have more than my fair share of sweets.
Oh, I bet they're very good.
What I really need is for someone who actually will act as a bouncer to keep out the people who don't have appointments.
That's fair. That must be very frustrating.
And based on your introduction, I'm guessing you're not here to put me on retainer.
Not at the moment, we're not, but it's good to know.
So she leans back as you say that, and then literally eyes you head to toes and back again slowly. Right, retainer. And then she glances over at Shakira and kind of does a much faster pass and smiles a second. And then turns back to the halfling. So, I mean no offense, but the sooner you are out, the more likely this office will be available to someone who's going to pay me.
Sure. We get that. We'll be quick, we promise. And I look at Sharkira to see if she wants to take the lead on this, and she's the one who heard the information firsthand from the other guy.
Her turns to look and says, well, I was wondering if there was anything you could tell us about Troll Skull Manor. Or I keep saying it wrong, but Troll Skull Manor.
Yeah, we kind of inherited it
Oh,
with
you
a
lucky
ghost
people.
and everything. And we really don't want to. We know tomorrow morning the city's going to come in and they're going to get rid of the ghost, and we'd like to stop that from happening if we can. But we got to find out who she is and why she's still there first. We're hoping you could help us with that.
It would be a shame if they tear it down without giving her rest. She was
Yeah. That's what we thought.
She was a good person.
So you
Got
knew
me
her.
started in the business, actually. Miss Sophia took very good care of everyone who worked there, boys and girls. Had some of the best bouncers I've ever worked with. Far better than some. She practically shouts at the floor. What do you need to know?
Well, I was wondering if you could shed some light on what you know or what you've heard about how the fire came to be. What caused it?
Oh, yeah. Well, there was that one. I don't know. Dickman or something. He was just... He had it in for me and Miss Sophia and anybody else that was mixed blood.
You being half elf?
And he didn't hold back. And there was about 3 days before the fire, Grafana actually like manhandled him out. Just literally picked him up by the collar and the belt and lobbed him out the window, which was humiliating enough, but it was from the second story. Because
that sounds like a lot of fun to watch.
I'm not gonna lie, it was amusing to watch him hit the ground.
Sounds like he deserved it.
Oh, he had it. He was. I mean, the thing is, the first month he came regular. It wasn't that big of a deal. He always hired a girl, and they would do what they do. But it was one night that I don't know if it's because someone had talked about his usual girl wasn't there, and that would I be able to fill in for her? And then he got into it with Miss Sophia, and then Grafana just said enough's enough and showed him the window. A couple days later, he's back, and he's swearing he's sorry, and he's swearing he didn't mean nothing by it. And it was an afternoon, so it was quiet, and so Miss Sophia agreed to see him. And next thing we know, there's smoke coming out the upper story windows. And we're all making a mad dash to get out.
So he was the last person to see Miss Sophia before.
Oh, I'm
she
sure he
died.
got his ass out of there. I heard he was hooting, talking, and partying right up till his last dying day. He got out. I think I was one of the first to get out, and she adjusts her robe a bit, sits up a little more straight. I still feel bad that I got out as quick as I did. I didn't even check to see if anybody else made it out.
It's hard to think straight in an emergency.
That's not your fault.
Mr. Sophia didn't wait for nobody. She wouldn't leave till she was sure every last person made it out.
Did every last person make it out? Except for her, I mean.
Well, I talked around a bit afterwards, and we all decided what we were going to do. Holm decided he was gonna give up the trade. Heard he's making chains now down in the docks ward. Number fun, I know she was working for the watch, and we know that Valentina got out, but she's always been a sneaky one. There's a rumor that she was one of the first out because she just went out one of the upper story windows. Didn't even come down and check in with us till a couple days later.
What was her name again?
Valentina Daybreak.
Was there anybody else unaccounted for?
Well, that's just it. No, we all made it out, but as I said, nobody knew Valentina made it till a couple days later. And of course, Mistress Sophia wouldn't leave till she was sure everyone had made it out front.
Out of character, I'm recalling the spirit yelling, "Get everybody out, get everybody out," and that makes a lot more sense now.
Mm-hmm.
There's a moment where, like, in the back of your mind, you can see the flames and the form shouting, "Get her out."
Get her out. Was there anybody else in the building at the time of the fire?
I mean, those of us that were working, the wait staff, the cooks, the kid who tended the bar, he was a nice guy. I think he's a valet now up in the high city.
So shortly after we came into possession of the place, we were checking it out, and I saw who I now believe to be Miss Sophia, and she was yelling, "Get her out." Do you know who she might have been referring to? She wouldn't respond to anything we said, just kept saying, "Get her out."
Just sounds a lot like she was worried about making sure we all made it out and went a lot before she would.
Was she particularly close to any of you?
She's close to all of us. We used to joke that if the watch found any of us in one of the rivers, she could identify us right down to the last freckle. She's a good woman.
She sounds like it.
Kept us pretty damn safe.
Just out of curiosity, if you recall, what did Valentina Daybreak say when she returned after kind of going missing for a couple of days?
She was sure that fire was for her. She'd had a fight with somebody the day before over fees or whatnot, so she just took off right away. Figured the safest thing would be to lie low for a bit.
Do you know who it was she had a fight with?
Don't remember, no, sorry. And plus, we all knew the fire was started by Dickman. I mean, that's what we knew. Watch said it was an accident, but whatever.
Well, the watch kind of they like to look for the easiest solution. What
Yeah.
makes you so certain?
That he started it?
Yeah.
Because I watched him talk about it. He bragged about it. He didn't hide it. You get a couple of shots into him, and he would tell all kinds of story about getting that harlot run out of this part of town. Burned her place to the ground.
That does seem fairly conclusive.
Yeah. Shame the watch couldn't do anything about it. Grafana even tried to get him to reopen the case when she started working there, but it's not exactly easy to do.
Grafana works for the watch now?
That's what I heard. It's a good thing, too. She's tough. Tough as nails. She threw a guy out a second-story window. Not really sure that she can... It's not much she can't handle the watch. And
I'd like to have seen that.
I've got a caller coming in about an hour. Is there more you want to talk about? I think I need some time to get ready. Get my mind in the right spot again.
I'm going to look at Ari. Did you have any more questions?
Just one last very quick question. Was there anyone that Buckman was particularly close to that is not currently deceased?
Wouldn't know. I wouldn't know.
That's fair.
Out of character, where Valentina Daybreak is now might be helpful.
You don't need to ask that. The DM said out of character.
Oh.
And then quietly slipped a note to a particular player.
Oh.
Note has been slipped.
Oh.
With a second note. It's like writing them on a post-it note and handing it at the table.
Well, except whether or not I see the note is the tricky part.
That's why I'm like, passing you a note.
Yep.
Somebody's getting a note.
Yep. Okay, that's cool.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I think that pretty well wraps up what we were looking for. Thank you for your time. You've
Thank you
been
very much.
very accommodating. We're sorry to have bothered you.
She follows you down the stairs, and you make your way out, and you glance over your shoulder. She turns to the girl and goes, "How much longer does he need on that souffle?" And the girl kind of leans to the door, and he's taking it out now. And you watch as her grin just grows as she walks over to the pole and yanks it down with everything she has. I told you I'll pay you next week. And then you just hear this roar that you think is my souffle, but it sounds a lot more guttural and furious.
I'm gonna wave at the girl. I'll see. Thank you for the food. And then I'm gonna book it out the door and down the stairs. We gotta go.
We're going. We're getting.
And now that I have a pause, I'm going to hydrate. Thank you, Nebula, for that. We appreciate the reminders that we should stay hydrated for situations like this and not just the stuff that keeps me going when I'm running a game.
Would it be an opportune time to take a small break?
Let's get the group back together and share your notes.
Okay, cool.
And then, yes, absolutely a break is warranted. Until you gather out front of the shop.
What'd you find out?
First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna walk up to Drumir and just hold the bag of scones out just enough that he can reach in and grab one but can't see what's in there.
I will grab one of the scones. That was good. Thank you.
Raylona's very curious as to what that sound was as you were leaving the door.
Was my
sound-
stomach? No.
No.
Mine
Yeah, we
too.
need to
I
find
went
a
in there
bathroom
and
now, guys.
I didn't get anything to eat.
Have a donut.
Chrysanthemum holds out the bag to Raylona.
Oh yeah, I got the bag taken away from me because I would stop eating them.
You got cut off.
She's the key. Chrysanthemum's the keeper of the bag from now on.
Chrysanthemum's
Always the
already
responsible
halfway
one.
through another donut.
What'd you find out?
So it seems that the main theory we're still hearing is that Buckman is our guy that started the fire, but
Yeah, apparently he went around telling everybody he did it.
That's a terrible idea.
Right?
It's a wonder the watch didn't cart him away after a while. Though I suppose that would be more paperwork.
Probably. Alcohol is a bad thing when you have secrets.
Very true. Very true.
That's why I don't keep
anything else?
secrets.
Anything else you find out? I figure if she's sticking around, it could be because of the Buckman guy, and she just doesn't know he's dead yet or something.
She also said that Sophia stayed to make sure everybody got out, and that as far as what was this lady's name? I'm drawing a blank.
Valentina.
No, the lady that we just talked to.
It's very fancy
Cooperkin.
and I can't say it.
Cooper, that's right. Cooperkin. She said that as far as she knows, everybody did get out, but one of them got out through the roof and didn't tell anybody for a couple of days. They didn't know she survived for a couple of days. And Sophia stayed to make sure everybody got out, and she never got out herself. So it could be she was waiting for somebody
Wasn't there.
who wasn't there, or somebody that nobody else knew was there.
Well, I have a plan. I have an idea. If the knowledge that the arson is now just as dead as she is, I'll phrase it differently. Doesn't untether her from this mortal realm. perhaps knowing that this lady got out, this other girl got out safely, maybe that'll do it. Did you
Maybe.
find out who it was?
We did.
Valentina Daybreak?
Yes.
Oh. Valentina. She's down at the Yawning Portal. She's one of the regulars. Rogue, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I didn't know that.
Suppose it makes a certain amount of sense. You got the whole femme fatale thing going for her. Well, yeah. Well, how about this? Why don't Rolona and I find our way back to the Yawning Porter and see if we can't hunt Valentina down, and then you guys check and see if the exorcists have arrived and what they're going to charge us. Just as a backup.
Sounds like a plan.
Sounds
Okay.
good.
And on that note, we're going to take a short break. There's a poll up. Feel free to vote on where you think Valentina currently is. Your choices are at the Yawning Portal, having worked in some other capacity, or currently in peril. See you guys back in 2 minutes. Make it 4.
I'm gonna go. Common, Mother Clucker, do you speak it? We need some information. I'm not sorry, by the way.
I'm heading that way. I'll tackle
Oh,
her
she
ass
already has
again.
the potion. She already has the potion.
No, she just handed you the book. And as soon as your hands touched it, she let go and run. Well, don't worry. We're glad to have you here, Ronak. The players are currently on break, but I'm not. I'm actually feeling pretty darn good about things. I've already been up and down the stairs a couple of times. So I'm happy to hang out and chat with anybody who's here. Thank you for coming by. We appreciate you popping in. We're always glad to have more people in the channel, participating, supporting, hanging out, pitching ideas. Yeah, no, it's not a big deal. I actually have my DM only view that I pop up every so often, especially at the start of a stream when there's stuff to talk about. But I hope everyone's having a good time hanging out tonight. Don't be afraid to ask D&D related questions, because I don't mind answering them. We were a little late starting tonight, the Midwestern. Yet there was one that was from he kept talking about having to go get that thing out of the back, because there was a lot of questions they had to ask. I don't have a ton of accents I can pull, but the ones I have, I abuse the crap out of. Vamp Queen, we're happy to have you here. Who were you following in on? Out of curiosity. Let's see. I don't have. There's a command for it, but I don't have it pre-programmed. No, actually, Azteki, now that you mention it, I need to do that. It's socials. Oh, family friend, cool. I can't get my family to check out Twitch. It's nuts. And you're right. I keep getting distracted with other projects, Azteki, and I owe you a pub night. I really do. We had an opportunity to do a test run of the mixed reality, and I kind of got the last few weeks. I've been so obsessed with it. It's so bad, and I should, because the kids dance company. Normally, I play with the musician corps, and I'm in a little bit of a spot with them because I'm really annoyed by their COVID policy for this upcoming recital, and I find myself like I'm actually not playing with them. So yeah, we've upped our Beat Saber game. I'll put it up here, but I won't put the audio with it. Because I've got as the players come back, I've got the current DM thing open. So thank you for the follow. We're glad to have you as part of our community. I'm sorry the little pop-up didn't go. It's not actually on this media source. This is what do I want? I'm just going to call this a temp. Temp Beat Saber test. All right, let's see here. Browse. Let me find the video. Kitty K did a test run with me today. Let me kill the audio so it doesn't get canceled. Oop, don't move me. There we go. That was what we did this afternoon. We actually have a full green room set up for her to do that in, to create that illusion. So we've been having a lot of fun playing with it. And of course she's doing the song and she's whining that it's too easy. Because it's not on hard.
Sounds like you need to whip out the DDR mat.
Oh God.
Your poor foilers.
Yeah, if Kitty K starts doing I don't think she would even know where to start with DDR, but she's huge on her Beat Saber. Hang on, let me bring everyone's back from the break, it looks like. So let me kill that thing out of there. Yes, I do want to remove that. Wink. And then let's go back to having everyone at the table. A bit fresh.
You never left.
Well, thank you for that. I appreciate it. Waterdeep is a published Dragon Heist is a published adventure, but this phase of the adventure is me. For those go ahead.
We've gone off script.
I was going to say, even for a lot, even the best module, which I hear this one is, the DM has to cover a lot of different ground, and oftentimes ends up like 50-50 at best.
Well, and that's one too where the adventure is kind of neat here, and this is not really a big spoiler, but there's like a dozen plot hooks for mini adventures and some dice rolls you can do to get the party through this phase. And I want to write something fun. and so this is the fun thing that I wrote. Which
I can
was
confirm that it is fun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which is fun. And clever and all that other good stuff. So we're back. And I'm going to have to hook up Vamp Queen with my family because apparently you can get family to check out streams or family friends. And I even text my mother to say, your granddaughter is performing online, and she still won't come over to Twitch.
I have a brother with a Twitch account who keeps swearing to me, I'm going to come next week. I'm going to come watch next week. And nothing. So
people are spoiled, man. Now that everyone has everything on demand, like, why bother? You don't need like timed events. What an archaic concept.
Which I don't know if we actually got it up there, but if you do want to see the old episodes or see this one when it's finished, there's my YouTube channel, Preach Indeed, Renak. I will say this. I'm debating about ways that I can force the kids to have to do the mad dash from the bathroom to the couch when you shout, the commercials are over.
For commercials.
Like
oh boy, that's a blast.
We all, we all know that, but then I looked at the one window and went, I don't know if Chickadee knows that. She's kind of the kid of the group. But I definitely know the mad dash when the commercials
For the
up.
record, I do.
Okay.
I do. Young, but I'm not that young.
I watched a video breakdown of all the new guns in like the Halo games, and they're like, if you're new to the Halo series, it works exactly like the first one. I'm like, new to the series? How old? Oh God, it is that old.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's wild. Time is a fickle thing, it would appear.
So yeah, some of us started our video game playing when you could literally count all 64 pixels on the screen. I'm just gonna. Some of us may have actually played E.T. before it ended up in a giant landfill in the desert.
Poor man.
There, yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
Did anyone have a power glove though?
I never had the power glove, but
Me neither.
Speaking of last non sequitur, if you haven't seen it, get a box of Kleenex curl up with someone you care about, and watch 8-Bit Christmas.
I watched that last night. I loved it.
It is
loved it.
it is the new A Christmas Story.
hmm
Absolutely, right down to the older storyteller. And it has Neil Patrick Harris as the father telling the story of his Christmas in the 80s. It has all the feels.
Very
That sounds like
nostalgic.
fun.
And
Very nostalgic.
Yes. Yep. Very, very good. And have Kleenex.
That's where you lost me. I have so many feels. I don't need more feels. I get nervous about that.
Everything's
You'll
so
be
feely
fine.
this
You'll
time
be
of year.
fine.
Don't
I promise.
experience the feels. How are you going to get good at processing?
I
Like a muscle.
went to a lot of therapy to like stop the feels.
I mean, fair enough.
Okay. There you go. There you go. Speaking of feels, what's the party off to again?
We are.
Two
We are,
people are going to the Yawning portal.
Yep. We're looking for Valentina.
And Chrysanthemum and I are going back to the manor to meet with the exorcist slash ghostbuster.
They had a union name.
Yes.
I forget. The United Altar Workers, the UAW.
UAW. Wow.
At least it's not ooh.
No.
We're gonna start there then. So who's going back to meet the United Altar Workers representative? We Shakira. Okay.
That was me and Shakira.
Okay. You guys come up on the ruins, and there's a gentleman there in white vest with gold. No, back up. Black doublet, black shirt, black pants, black cravat. This little white bit of color there, and white cuffs. He's standing with his hand on a walking stick. He's bundled up against the snow, which has continued. And you can see it's a pretty good accumulation on his shoulders as he's been standing there for some time. His top hat has a layer of snow on it, and there's a layer around the brim. He looks as you come up. Are you the new points at it with his stick? Proprietors?
We're two of them. Chrysanthemum Coriolis. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Ah, yes. Pleasure as well. And he puts his hand out for you.
Shakira. Nice to meet you.
I shake his hand, and there may or may not be a donut in it. When I shake.
I hope it's like a powdered donut too, so he can't even like wipe it off.
I
He
was
just has to
I-
live with
yeah.
this now.
I was gonna say Shakira has powder on her hand from the powdered donut.
Reaches into his breast pocket inside the coat. Black handkerchief.
Black handkerchief.
He wipes it all down, folds it all back up.
Are you here with the United Altar Workers?
Yes, I understand you need this facility purged.
Possibly. We're
Excellent.
trying to figure out if there's a way we can do it ourselves, but in the event we can't, we thought it would be wise to get a quote.
Some things are best left to professionals. He pulls out a parchment that he unrolls and unfolds a few thin blocks of wood to make a small clipboard. If you could just sign here that you are consenting to an investigation for the purposes of writing an estimate for services to be rendered.
I'm gonna look over the paperwork and make sure that's exactly what we're signing. We're not agreeing to anything. We just want all the information and an estimate,
I
correct?
cannot enter another person's domicile without written permission.
Okay.
That's exactly
I'll
what it
sign.
says.
All right, I'll sign.
Excellent. Folds up, tucks it back in. Straightens his coat. Takes off his top hat and brushes off the snow and puts it back on. It'll just be a moment while I go establish the level of infestation you have. He strides up the steps to the front doors.
I'm gonna follow him.
And he pauses. He looks back. He kind of holds.
Can I
his
come with you?
stick.
I've never
This
never
is
watched this kind of thing before.
I'm what they call a professional. Back up.
Okay, I'll take like 2 steps back.
Back up, Halfling. I'm a scientist.
Well, and I'm what you might call a professional adventurer, so I just am interested in what you're doing.
Yes, just wait here, please.
Are we like on the front porch?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As soon as he goes inside, I'm gonna like peek inside the window, see if I can watch what's going on.
Sharkira's gonna lift Chrysanthemum on her shoulders so she can get a better view.
Thank you.
Part of me was gonna chastise you guys for like just sending him in there without any information, but honestly, this guy's kind of a dick.
I mean, he says he's a professional. So.
He's a professional.
I'm sure
He
he's
knows
fine. He's a
He knows,
professional.
Professional dick.
It's gotta. He knows there's something wrong with
Oh,
it.
you
So
met the professional dick earlier.
I feel like we've met several of those so far.
Apparently, I was gonna say apparently there's 2.
But yeah, I'm just gonna I want to watch in the window.
He closes the door behind him, and you can see through the glass as he walks in, and then suddenly, like, give me dex checks or dex saves, please. Just give me dex saves. Give me dex saves.
I don't know what that means.
On your character sheet, your dexterity, you have your saving throws.
Ouch.
Yeah, hit the one that says dex.
Ouch.
Let's see how good it is. Oh!
Do they get a bonus for that though?
A 3 and a 3.
Like teamwork
Yes,
right
Shan.
there.
Welcome, by the way, Shan. We're glad to have you here. And yes, Oof summarizes this moment. You both kind of like get yourselves up into the window as it explodes outwards.
Oh.
So
We got a
Bobby
reroll.
did a
Reroll,
reroll.
reroll. Oh,
Okay.
reroll.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm assuming that is for Ari to reroll.
Go for it, Ari.
That's better.
Better.
That's better. Roll it one more time. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Woo!
you look through the window and also like you see the flames surge up, and there's like the glass actually kind of gets pulled in briefly. You can see it start to warp, and Shakira goes, like, familiar with large flaming moments, realizes now is the time to not be looking in the window, and like drops prone. And as she glances up in that moment, realizes that Chrysanthemum has not reached the same conclusion, grabs her by the back of her armor and pulls down as a wave of flame bursts out the window right through the space she was in. And
I owe you one,
it
buddy.
is as bright as a midday summer sun. As you just hear this whoop sound. And then the flames get sucked back into the building almost as fast. And now the door bursts open. As he comes jogging down the stairs, his top hat is smoking. Right, we will get back to you. The estimate will take 3 to 4 business days to prepare. And he just starts fast walking down the street.
Thank you for your help.
Sharkira
I'm
tries to
crossing
shout,
as I'm crossing my fingers. You've been very helpful.
We'll miss you.
Sharkira wants to throw a donut at him, but doesn't want to waste such a luxury.
Not worth it. I'm glad we got him Dusty though.
Oh, he's like
Deserved
on
at least that
fire
much.
as he's going. Let's be clear.
Well, I mean, I'm glad we got powdered sugar on him. I was feeling bad about that, but I'm not so much anymore.
No regrets.
May he be
Donut
dusted
sugar.
in every donut shop he walks into.
Yeah, Picker. So the snow, though, finally has stopped, and you don't have any on you since you are very warm and toasty right now. If you had any standard rations, you may go to your character sheet and turn them in for cooked rations at any time.
Well, I don't think that has done us a lick of good.
Yeah, that does not fit within our time frame whatsoever. So, what shall we do now?
Is there a temple nearby?
Probably.
Because I'm wondering if we could get advice on how to handle this if we're unable to, like how we can approach the ghost, or how we can you know, if protect ourselves, or if there's any specific things we can do to help this go better.
That's fair. You could probably head there after you pick up the rest of your party.
Okay, sounds good.
Coordinate with them. Meanwhile, across town, the snow has stopped, and it's getting on into the late afternoon, evening, which means as the day laborers are wrapping up their time mending shoes or carving wood or whatever it is that they do to earn their trade, they can now spend a couple of silver, throw a few coppers, and place some wagers as to who's going to die the next time they go down into the Undermountain.
I'm hoping somebody's gonna die down in the Undermountain. Just gonna say that.
Yeah, I'm hoping the last person we saw go down there is gonna die.
A very particular individual, famous though he is.
You have
May
a
he
chance
rest in pieces.
to glance around. You remember, Dramir recalls that Valentina is a name that he's heard around. You're not entirely sure you could pick her out, though, if you had to. Who does he go after for advice or information?
He'll saddle up to the bar, order 2 beer. Yeah, you had one. It was Ari that pulled 2. Order 2 dwarven ales, and as they are being delivered, you'll say, "Hey, you seen Valentina around here recently?"
So you're going like right to the barkeep?
Yeah, the bartender.
So many characters, so many names to keep straight.
I keep a big old Google Doc and have to like
Durnan, that's
laugh
it.
at like every time.
'Cause I think he's there. Brawl. There it is, Durnan. Yeah. He kind of looks over at you and Valentina? Yeah, she I seen her.
Oh, we were perhaps looking to acquire her help.
Well, you'll have to wait a couple more days.
Oh yeah?
He slides a board out from under the bar and sets down, flips a parchment. Yeah, she went down into their mountain yesterday.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Who's she go down there with Volo or someone else?
Let's see. I got her down here with Let's see. There was Valentina, Genezel, Ezekiel, and Audrey of the Angst. And another one, one Volo of Volo's Guide to Monsters.
Well, a bit conflicted. On the one hand, Valentina seems like a very capable individual. But on the other hand, it'd be very cathartic for Volo to not return. You still taking bets on those?
Oh yeah, odds are running 6-1 against at this point, though.
I'd get in on that. I'd put a gold down.
No, I don't engage in those sort of things. You'll have to talk to one of the bookies over there.
Oh, right, of course.
There's a Kanku over by the winch. 6-1 against. 6-1 against.
Yeah, I'll take that bet.
Takes your gold and hands you a ticket.
I will reduce my gold count.
About now-ish, Sharkira and Chrysanthemum have a chance to catch up with you.
Probably a long shot, but is there any, as I look around the bar, do I see Flume, the guy we rescued? He's not in there by any chance, is he?
No, but Renier is.
Okay.
Mr. Neverember himself.
Okay. I realized we probably could have asked what he was being and what they were interrogating him about when we burst in and rescued him.
I think we did.
Did we ask him?
They were asking about a particular the Stone of Golhar.
That's right.
Something that will
Okay.
lead him to a treasure that the Neverembers, definitely have for sure. From all
That's
their,
right. I do remember that now that you say that. Okay.
bribes they're taking as the Open Lord of Waterdeep.
Okay. Okay. we're good then. I just couldn't remember if we'd asked him about that or not.
I appreciate the thought. That would be a good thing to check into. But yeah, so you guys arrive. We've gotten another pair of ales. So there's a couple, on the table. Hey,
I'm gonna walk up and grab whatever is in front of Raylona in retribution for this morning.
Gonna kind of glare at you.
Just gonna grab it and
If I
throw
like
it
you,
back.
you're getting a glare.
Sure,
And I'll reach out and I'll plop a donut in its place.
Sharkira's not going to take one this time since she had two earlier.
I'm gonna take my
didn't get
donut and
one
plop it in
earlier,
front of
so.
Sharkira.
Are there any of those scones left?
I pass over the bag.
Oh, excellent.
Sharkira takes a scone out of her pocket and hands it over.
It's all about the baked
It's
goods.
warm.
It's
All about the baked goods.
It's warm.
So it seems like Miss Valentina, one of the couple to go down with Volo. So
Well, that's
be a couple
unfortunate.
days before she gets back. Obviously, out of our timeline.
So
But
far, everything.
The knowledge that she is alive might be enough. I don't know.
Hopefully.
Raylona's gonna suggest maybe going in the house one more time. I mean, we know what we're up against. Maybe we could take a peek around.
I'm gonna let them know what happened, bring them up to speed on what happened with the UAW guy.
Oh, so even if it did come to that, they wouldn't be ready for a couple days.
That's correct.
You watch
But-
as the platform rises up out of the portal, and it's empty of people, and you hear like this kind of a loud gasp around the portal, around the inn, and then one of the bookkeepers raises his book, goes, "Odds are 12-1 now."
That's not looking too well in our favor. Also, probably would have been good to hold off on that bet until just now.
And you hear someone there say, "I don't think they're going to come out." Yeah, what kind of idiot would try to do a rescue mission at this stage?
Hey, you said rescue mission?
Well, the other patron goes, "Well, there's nothing stopping anybody from going down trying to help them."
Oh, I thought you meant they went down there for a rescue mission.
Oh, gosh, no, they were just trying to map more, test some theory. I heard a rumor Volo hired the party.
Yeah, he's one of the ones who went down there.
Yeah, it's a shame. A couple of nice girls in that group. And one of the other women at the table points out, Ezekiel is not bad to look at. Well, yeah, if you're into like more muscles than brain. I happen to like muscles. Well,
Raylona's gonna flex a little bit.
she glances over her and goes, "No." But your effort is appreciated. And then she turns back to her ale.
Well, then, I guess there's not much to it then. Anything else we can think of? Maybe, it's probably the case that she's still thinking that Daybreak didn't make it out. So that might do it. I mean, we could
What's the worst that happens? We run out of the building again?
catch fire. I mean, whole
I
place
mean, we
collapses
could see
around
if-
us. There's a lot of things that could go wrong.
Yeah, well,
We don't think that far ahead.
You mentioned learning how to duck earlier, and that seems quite pertinent to this particular conversation.
we could try and find a temple that might be able to give us some advice.
Another
I mean,
opinion couldn't hurt.
Maybe
They have some experience with this kind of thing. I don't personally, but
maybe there's some sort of incense we can burn or offering or something.
maybe or ways we can steps we can take to protect ourselves.
Yeah, blessing
Yes, that
perhaps.
too. I've never fought a ghost before.
I haven't either.
Can we
So
even
this'll be
fight
exciting.
ghosts? Are they like Maybe we just bring a lot of water and try to douse the whole thing. I don't know, but I think you're on the right.
Maybe we
Right.
should douse ourselves so we're wet when we go in there and we can't catch fire.
That's actually not a bad idea.
Roll around in a snowbank before we walk in.
I like the snow angels. Then
Oh.
go in.
Well, yeah, why don't we do that? What time do I estimate it is? Like how
It's
far
about
into the day?
7-ish by now.
AM or PM?
PM.
Okay, just making sure. We did get up kind of early. So.
Did we?
No, it's getting late on into the evening. So something's going to have to happen soon.
Yeah, I say we get a nice meal and then head to the temple. And
I'm
then,
sorry, did you say a last meal?
No, a nice meal.
Oh, that too.
Can't be thinking fatalist like that. You know, it's gonna come back on you.
As you're
I
discussing,
mean, I've looked death in the face just yesterday. It's kind of sobering.
Rainier spots you from across the bar, and he peels himself off of the company he's in, which look like twins, male and female, and you're not sure which one was more into him.
Got him.
¿Por qué no los dos?
And he kind of comes over. He's like, "I'm so glad you all are here.
Hi.
Fantastic to see you, Master Neverember.
Oh, please, please, please. Rainier's fine. Master, you say Master Neverember. I look over my shoulder for my father, and then I reach for my blade. No, but this is an amazing opportunity
Oh,
for me to repay Volo.
oh,
Yeah, about that.
Well, your intervention at his behest rescued me
Right.
from the situation which I found myself, and here's my opportunity to repay it.
How so?
Well, they left last evening to go into the Undermountain,
Right.
and they have yet to return. One can only assume that they've befallen some fate.
One can only hope.
And you feel like we'd be capable enough to not only rescue them from said danger, but return as well.
Well,
I think what you're getting at.
it seems reasonable, doesn't it?
I take a glance over at the portal and back at him. I feel like that's a little bit out of our caliber.
Oh, come now. How hard could it be?
I mean, the troll literally came out of there yesterday.
And you handled it quite marvelly, I've heard.
We didn't
Not us.
handle
It was
anything.
more so the barrage of wizards, but I'm flattered that you feel we're capable of that.
I will pay you each 15 gold now to go down and do whatever you are capable of to bring Volo and his party back up.
Would you be able to stall the deconstruction of the manor
We're in a
we've
bit of a
recently
time
come
crunch.
into?
Yeah, Volo happened to give us a haunted manor that needs to be purged by the day, or the city takes ownership of it.
I can definitely delay that until you are back out of the
Actually?
portal. Plus,
Oh,
they technically cannot repossess it without your signature.
Now there's a loophole.
I look at the rest. Did we actually sign something about that?
No, I mean, like,
No, you mean
the
you mean-
morning
you mean- I
of.
think, yeah.
They can't simply
Oh.
seize property without your presence. If you are indisposed.
I look to the rest of the group. I feel like there's much more capable people who have not come back.
Raylona's gonna eye that portal over there, the hole, and like she's got this look in her eye where she is like, she's ready. This is what she's been waiting for. Just a reason to get in there.
Patron? Check. Mission? Check. Opportunity to murder things? Check.
It's ticked all the
Second
boxes.
level hit points.
Literally, almost
Everything I
literally
dreamed
double
of.
our hit points.
I've been looking for something to prove my worth, to prove my strength, to show that I'm stronger than I was, and this is it. I'm ready.
Put me in, coach.
I think Shakira is feeling the same way. I mean, again, she's been lonely most of her life. She's ready for adventure. So I feel like her and Raylona can conquer the world if they must, along with our companions.
Ideally.
Drumir looks to Chrysanthemum. This is a terrible idea, right? Right?
Well, it's definitely a terrible idea, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't go for it.
I mean,
Yes,
usually one
Chrysanthemum.
precludes the other, but
Usually. But not all the time. I mean, plus, I kind of whisper, he said we had to do everything in our power. So, I mean,
that is very
he's
true.
not going to know. We could go in there and take a look around and see what's what. Maybe there's nothing in our power that we could have done to help them.
Bring up an excellent point, actually.
Get that trickster in there.
Well, Mr. Rainier, perhaps we will take you up on that.
It's just
whatever in our power we can.
I mean, it sounds like you need this Valentina.
Yes, and that's a very good point.
It seems all of our interests are converged. I'll have them ready to send you down. I'll even pay your fee.
In lieu of paying us, could you procure us a couple of health potions to take with us?
Oh, absolutely.
Good thinking.
Because gold isn't going to do us any good if we don't make it back out of there alive. But health
I'll
potions
suggest,
could tip the
both would
balance.
be great. I don't know why you guys are laughing. I'm totally serious right now.
I know.
Yeah,
Yes, counterpoint.
No, that's a good point.
That is. She's
We
not
are
wrong.
going out of our
She's
way.
not
so-
wrong.
That's a very good point. Well, I suppose it's settled then. Do you need time to procure some, supplies there?
Oh no,
I
no. He. By the time you are ready to go down, I will have them for you. I will go. Have my conversations as needed.
Sounds great. And of course the delay you mentioned as well. That too.
I'm sorry. What?
The delay on the
Oh yes.
seizing.
I'll make it very clear that you are indisposed and that they are not to touch your property without having confirmed your understanding as to the particulars of the law. I mean, there may be an absentee clause that might get kicked in if you spend too long, or if you
Right.
all end up dead, but that won't happen. You're not going that deep.
I
Let's
mean,
hope not.
if we were dead, what would it matter, really?
And then you hear, we have a new party preparing to descend. Odds begin at 14-1 against.
Yay.
Are we
Ilona's
allowed to
walking.
bet on ourselves?
Raylona's
Chrysanthemum
walking over there
raises
going
her
like
mug
this.
and-
She is excited. Like, bring it on.
You actually are not allowed to wager. No bookie will take your bet.
Yeah, I was gonna say. It's, worst case scenario, I don't need the goal anyway.
Yeah. Which also at one point, one of them will go, wow, Volo's group's got better odds of getting out of there. And they've been down there for a day already.
Right,
Sure.
they have Volo leading them.
Sharkira decides she is gonna grab one of those ales after all, if there's any left.
Oh, yeah, it's on the house at this point. You're all allowed a free drink before you go down.
Right.
And you-
Is there any supplies and/or shopping that we should do beforehand before we descend into the undercarriage or the underdark or whatever it's called?
You do have 2 additional healing potions.
Excellent. I
That-
recommend on not the healer. Perhaps on myself and Sharkira, as my suspicion of, well, I was going to say if you're like right in the thick of it, you might not have the opportunity to drink it, Ilona, but that might not be the case.
Well, it would be nice to have it too, just in case like Chrysanthemum goes down again.
Yeah,
Oh.
she's definitely not having a potion.
No, I don't need to hold the potions.
Right.
I do have cure wounds today.
Is it 2 for each of us or 2 for the whole party?
2 total.
Yeah,
Two total.
two for each of
Total
us
of
would be
two.
quite generous.
That's what I was thinking at first. I was like, okay.
No,
Studded leather thing.
like the
gonna argue.
rerolls, you get 2 for the party for free.
I just want to assume that everybody gets something.
Yes, we know. But yeah, and the ramp, the disc is up. Rainier hands each of you 16 gold
All right.
that he hands over. He makes a point of handing you like a small leather pouch that has the 15 in it, and then he hands you a coin. Says, "This is your ticket up. Do not lose this."
Right. So that's 15 gold each.
Mhm.
All right, and then one to the party gold to clear away.
One for the way back.
And then he turns around, he doles out 4 to the man working the winch. And as soon as the 4th coin hits his hand, you feel the platform beneath you just lurch before it starts its slow descent into the darkness.
This is it, guys.
Ready. I am so ready.
This gets me killed. I'm haunting you.
I'm wanting you.
That makes 2 of us.
Sharkira doesn't say anything. She just starts going bow 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 bow.
It's kind of how Raylona is. She's in her zone.
I'm surprised no one's going dun 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 dun.
Oh,
Chrysanthemum's doing like
missed opportunity.
I can't believe we got to
Stretch.
this point of the night and no one's made any Ghostbusters references.
We haven't
We
been
did say
busting
I
ghosts. We
ain't
just
afraid of no
investigated
door
ghosts.
was shot out
I
there.
did, yeah. There we
Yeah.
go. I did say that.
Yep. You make your way as you go deeper and deeper, the light above you starts to get smaller and smaller until it's just this little dot of light above you.
At least we're underground again.
3 out of the 4 of you are able to look around and go, huh, what an interesting network of tunnels and hallways.
In fact, I imagine Sharkira is very comfortable at present.
Absolutely.
The problem is one of you has no clue what's where.
nope. I can't see nothing.
Does Chrysanthemum want to go on a piggyback ride again?
Yes, please.
All right, hop on.
I hop on.
Can Shakira give a piggyback ride to a
Can I?
halfling in scale armor?
That's a good
Anthem
question.
not really very light.
No, Shakira is not just piggyback riding a 90-pound halfling in armor. That's not happening.
Yeah,
She's
a
like
little bit.
piggyback ride and then leads her over to Raylona and like shoves her on her back.
She can't see. She doesn't know whose back she's riding on. It's fine.
Could be anybody.
Pass me around like a sack of potatoes. Wherever I land is fine.
There you go.
Guys, do you want me to make a light or are we good?
Oh, I'm good.
I can see.
Okay.
Actually, I think a light would be a good idea.
What a team player. I won't make light for myself unless you all are cool with it.
I know,
Well,
right?
I mean, if somebody's carrying me, I don't need it, and if it's gonna like alert things that were there, then I don't want to cause problems.
Real talk, the original idea for this character was, carrying a torch kind of gives you away when you're sneaking around. It'd be really convenient if I didn't have to do that. Who has dark vision?
That's fair.
Have much knowledge.
But the point, yeah, if we do light a beacon, as it were, things will be able to see us. But that's not necessarily a bad thing, as we are looking for several things of which to rescue. I don't know.
But if
I could
if
go
you
either way
guys
about it.
you guys can see, so you guys can let me know. Like now would be a good time.
Light it up, yeah.
Light it up. Now would not be a good time. Stick that light under a bushel.
Well, Raylona's all for the light, but Raylona's also had a lot of bad ideas so far. So take that with a grain of salt.
Wonder if we could go like halfway. If like you could cast light on a coin and like put it in your pocket, so it's like a little bit of illumination for you, but
Oh, like a
Not like
hooded
a-
lantern.
right, yeah, like not like a bright beacon of
I could
all
do
that.
that.
Yeah, you could actually just also light a hooded lantern.
Do we have one of those?
I mean,
gonna say.
that'd be kind of
Probably.
redundant, like to cast light on a hooded lantern.
Just saying, it's an option. But
No, I
yes.
know. That'd be kind of. The idea of casting light on a torch is hilarious. It's twice as bright.
I mean,
Well,
if
not
you don't
really,
have
but-
any matches.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There's a story about yada yada yada, light this match, yada yada yada, strikes it, yada yada, don't use magic unless you have to. I don't remember the full story. Those are the main. That's the Sparks Notes version.
Yeah.
So you get the light situation sorted out. So Chrysanthemum can see, but it can quickly like grab the light and throw it into something, if so pressed.
I've got it like on a coin in my hand that I can just like shine around and then.
As you get the light going, you get on the coin, you test it out. You spot a chalk arrow has been drawn about a foot off the ground on one of the hallways that extends off of the landing platform.
Maybe the light was a great idea, actually. I didn't spot that with the light off.
Yeah. And you follow the arrow, and as you approach an intersection, you see another chalk arrow has been drawn pointing down one of the hallways.
White chalk arrow.
Yep.
Yeah,
Do
I
we
think we
want to
should
follow
follow it.
the arrows, or is that what it wants us to do?
I mean, I think it is the party, though. The other party.
Okay. That's
Like,
fair.
if I were going to be down here for another reason, I would want to find my way back. This place is a labyrinth.
Mhm.
Not
Yeah.
like literally, like
This is
someone
true.
makes labyrinth. But,
Magically
You know
changes
what I
every
meant.
so often as well. Like it's never the same place twice.
wait, what?
Oh.
That's what the rumors are. That's enchanted so that no map is valid, as it is
Lord.
constantly rearranging itself.
What a terrifying idea. Well then, why don't we make haste?
You work your
Yes,
way
let's do
down
that.
further and further. As you round a corner, an unmarked one since it's just a corner, you come across a section where the center of the hallway is blocked, and there's about a 1.5 foot wide gap on either side of it that you can squeeze past.
Well then,
As Dramir approaches it, he notices the construction. This column in the middle, blocking the hallway, has grooves on it where it has dropped down from above.
huh? This came from above.
Could it
I don't
be
know
a
what
trap?
that means, but that's super weird.
Could it be a trap?
Ah, yes. Yes, it could. We should start looking.
Maybe we
for
should
those.
see if there are more of those.
Yeah.
Wolfstein, thank you for the follow, by the way. Glad to have you in our community.
I take a look around and see if there's an obvious reset or, something like that in case the other party happens to be flattened underneath.
You it's not that big. You work your way, you kind of shimmy between out to the other side, and you don't feel any marks. But as you look down, you can see where there's a humanoid arm extending out from underneath the pillar on the back side.
Arm!
And
Oh,
around
no.
her wrist is a series of small skulls and other religious markings.
Do I recognize the religious markings?
It would be consistent with a doom cleric.
A doom cleric.
A doom cleric. Interesting.
For example, death domain.
Oh, okay.
Those are-
A death
Huh.
domain cleric. Okay.
that's kind of ironic, isn't it?
In fact, if you recall correctly, Audrey of the Angst was
Ah.
one such cleric.
Okay.
Well then, I think we're on the right path. I'm gonna keep an eye out for this stuff. Everyone else should too, but yeah. I'll go first.
Yes, a goth cleric.
Right.
Exactly. You continue to make your way around, and you
What
come
was her
across
name? Something of the angst?
Audrey.
Audrey.
Audrey, thank you.
Nice girl.
There you go.
really heavy on the eyeliner.
As Death Domain clerics tend to go.
Shockingly chipper, though. I mean, you were going to die before you were prepared, and healthy living is only dying at the slowest possible rate. But, you know, hey, it's a Tuesday, so at least we made it through a Monday, right? And you only have so many more Mondays left in your life to endure.
Might as well make a party out of it.
Yeah. I mean, come
on. Who are the other people in Volo's group? It was Volo, Audrey,
there was
Valentina.
There was also Genezel, who was a halfling monk, and Ezekiel, who was a fighter.
Ezekiel of the big muscles, right?
Of the big muscles, yes.
Big muscles.
Okay.
He's alive. We're gonna arm wrestle.
I really want that to happen. I really want that to happen. I need it.
That it was human fighter?
Mm-hmm. You make your way further along and further along. You've been going about an hour, and you've passed several places where you can see there has been scuffles. You see the shattered bones of animated skeletons that they fought at some spot. You even pass what looks like a campsite, where you can see the scratch marks in the stonework where they've pitched some kind of a lean-to. A fire was made. And you're definitely making better time than they have. It's not too long.
Cleared the way a bit.
Yeah. Well, they're fighting as they go, and you're just following the cleared path they left you.
That's the way to do it.
And at every few intersections, you find another chalk arrow telling you which way to go. Finally, you round a corner, and you can hear voices ahead. I told you we would find it. I told you it is right where it should be on this map. That map has not gotten us here. Well, it's been mostly accurate. At least 30% accurate. And what do you expect for the Undermountain? You can't get better than 30% accurate maps. We're lucky to have even found this. That's what I've been saying. We're lucky to have gotten here. Now let's get out of here.
I will see if I can approach in a sneaky manner to identify the individuals in question.
Do you want help with your sneaking?
Sure.
All right. Come on over here. I'm going to reach down from Raylona and like bop him on the head with the blessing of the trickster.
Excellent. Pretty good. 19.
19, no problem. It is not challenging for you to sneak up on the party in question as you creep down the dark hallway. And you realize that it is indeed Volo standing at a small little like hallway that extends off.
Is there anyone else there?
Yes. You recognize Valentina. There's a diminutive woman in like this.
We
this
assume is
red. Yeah. It's kind of this red tight tube top and these red leggings. And she's just standing there cracking her knuckles, cracking her knuckles, cracking her knuckles, cracking her knuckles. And then like standing in the 5-foot hallway and mostly taking it up is this just massive man. And he's leaning on a great sword. It's like the cross piece where it's next to him, where he has it pointing down.
It's not so big.
I will call out to them. Hey, Volo.
Oh, my friends. I did not expect to see you here.
We didn't expect to be here. Rainier sent us down here to ensure your well-being.
Well, what perfect timing. As soon as we have the gemstone, we can head out. I told you this map would find it. I told you this expedition would pay for itself.
What gemstone?
You're all kind of creeping up there?
Yep.
We do stuff.
Okay. You all creep up there. And they have torches. So it's well lit.
I'll put the coin back in my pocket.
Yeah, you look past the fighter and you can see at the end of this hallway, there's a pedestal and this massive gemstone sitting on a cushion with a chain going up over like a little that display where they do the neck thingy to show necklaces.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's this thick gold chain with this gemstone about yay big sitting on the pedestal.
Not to backseat adventure, but you've checked that for traps, right?
Oh, there's not a sign of a single pressure plate or tripwire or anything.
Right. Okay, just thought I'd ask.
Valentina, nothing is this easy.
I mean, I kind of point back. I can't imagine it was terribly easy for Audrey.
They all kind of look at each other and they all kind of shift nervously. Yes, a sizable donation to her church will be made in her name.
Right.
We just need to get the gemstone and get out.
Right. We'd be happy to accompany you.
Oh, good. And how we recover the gemstone is where we're going to pick up next week. Which makes me sad because I so love this part of the story.
Like he's got the gem. He's got like a bag of sand. Just like...
I'm just picturing like Aladdin in the Cave of Wonders.
I was about to say that. Like, I'm picturing Aladdin right now going.
Bad things are about to happen.
Grabbing it.
Had a couple Aladdin moments tonight, and I'm loving it.
As long as you're having fun, I'm having fun. And as long as chat is entertained, that's just bonus. So it's good to have it. It's good to see so many new names tonight and have so many people I'm not used to seeing at my table. I'm glad you guys have come up and gathered around the table and watched. I really like to think of this as kind of like wandering up on a D&D game at a convention where you just sort of like hang out, leaning on the table next to it and just watch the action happen. And kibitz. Please kibitz. It's always fun to see the kibitzing.
The kibitzing is always fun.
It is.
And sometimes helpful.
Sometimes. So before we fully wrap for the night, let's do around the table as to who we are, who we were, and what your star of the evening is. What's that thing that you really liked tonight that you were glad was part of the session? And I flatter myself to think that when they all look like they're struggling to think of something to say, it's because they have so many to pick from, and not that it's that hard to find one.
Oh, there was some good stuff tonight.
But while they're thinking, my name is Rob, aka Lantern Noir. I am here Sundays and Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern Time doing Dungeons and Dragons. Saturday and Sunday mornings at 8 a.m. doing Coffee Contemplation and whatever game I feel like playing, which right now is Cyberpunk, which is weird for me because they swear a lot more than I like. I don't know if I'm going to keep playing it because of that. But I also
or just in general.
Well, there's just a lot of foul language. But I have my mixed reality spaces set up. So I might start doing some mixed reality gaming since I can. And we'll see where that all goes. But going around the table, I don't remember where we started there, we ended there. So Chickadee, you get to go first.
All right, good. I got a good one. I'm Chaotic Neutral Chickadee, and I played Raylona the Barbarian tonight. And my favorite part was definitely being able to bring back that anklet I bought and use it as a trading item for some information. That just was amazing. So,
to which
my
I
precious,
will say,
precious anklet.
going film noir for a bit was fun.
Yeah.
That was pretty awesome.
That was great. The whole scene
noir?
was fantastic.
Another night I will talk about where the name Lantern Noir comes from.
Yeah.
But this hat is part of that name on purpose. Okay, we head up to Arwen.
I'm Arwen Atreides, and I played Chrysanthemum Coriolis. I really liked the different NPCs we met tonight. I really liked the I'm really bad with names too, but the watch officer who doesn't remember people's names. Yeah,
he remembers them just fine. You just don't bother till he's known them a year, and they're not going to end up dead.
Sounds like how I play XCOM. Don't get a nickname
great.
until you get past a certain point.
And I also really liked our the troll
Yes,
baker,
he was good.
ogre
He
baker.
was an ogre, yeah.
Ogre. So the NPCs were on point tonight.
Thank you. Thank you. Ari, how we doing? Where are we going to find you next?
I am Akio Eri. I stream on Twitch Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so that's tomorrow. I played as Sharkira the Drow, and I promise I'm not piggybacking on these two that just went before me, but both. Exactly. When Raylona pulled out that anklet, I lost my mind. That was amazing. I had forgotten all about that. And then the bones, thinking that was a good idea. That was wonderful as well. NPCs, I wasn't involved in that scene, but I really just kept wanting to go, da, bears. Like I'm picturing SNL characters sitting around the table with their beer saying, da, bears. So NPCs were great. Everyone, this was a lot of fun. It was awesome.
Fantastic.
I'm glad you. I feel a lot of pressure to keep making it fun with someone who's not played D&D before. There's so much pressure to make sure you leave saying you had fun.
Oh, it's been awesome. Every single session's been awesome. So you're doing great.
Okay, so when we're done, I'll show you where you can start sending your money for all the books and the math rocks.
Give them to me. Give them to me.
I have so many math
They've
rocks.
got so many custom dice. They're so fun.
I want to make some. Just for
Yeah. Resin
yeah.
casting and all
I
that.
plan
So
on it.
many
Just
dice.
I have that creative hand. I like art things and crafts. So
And Malik?
Yep. Hey, I'm Paul, aka Malik. I played Drumir Greyblade, and I gotta echo a lot of what's being said so far. But I think the bakery was my favorite scene. Between the absolutely terrified young lady behind the counter to see 4 well-armed and burly individuals appear in a bakery, and as well as the ogre who, near as I can tell, is a phenomenal baker. Like, clearly, the evidence is there. He's following his passions. That's fantastic. So that would be probably my favorite part of it.
Oh, thanks. The essence of comedy is surprise, which is a lot of fun. And I love this game because it's really serious, except when it's really not.
Yep.
And so far, Dragon Heist has like really highs on both tension and humor, which makes it a great adventure to play. And I can't wait for next week. I actually have to prep for next week because I will finally get past the point I've run. Assuming nothing goes crazy, I'll be past the point where I've run it before. So
Don't
I
ever
actually
assume that.
I'll have to start paying attention to things. So you just make it up as I go along. And you didn't need to use any rerolls tonight, which props to you. You made it through without that.
Yeah.
Technically, we did re-roll once. It was
had
just,
one
it was
reroll.
given
It
to
was
us.
given to us.
Yeah, we got one from chat. Yeah, one.
And
one
thank
channel
you,
point.
chat.
Thank
Yes,
you
and
much
it's
for that.
thank you.
Great to have all of you here hanging out with us. We do have to pay this forward. I'm doing a quick peek to see who I know that's on. There's a couple of really big people on right now. I'm looking also for some of my smaller friends and how they're all doing tonight. And I think what I'm gonna do, let's ship you over to a friend of mine. I've been following him off and on. He plays a variety of games. I found him because he was playing Solasta, Crown of the Magister, which is the D&D game that you play if you think you're going to like Baldur's Gate 3, but you realize that it's mostly crap and really, truly in early access. I'm sorry, was that too snarky? He's playing Age of Empires right now, which is not D&D, but he's a great guy. He's a lot of fun. Some of his community have wandered over here, so you should wander over there and check him out. Give him my regards. Tell him I said hi. I will be along as soon as I'm done debriefing with my players. If I have time, I do have to work in the morning because tomorrow we have continued Alice training at my school. Polymorph, thank you for coming over here tonight. Shan and everybody else, thank you for being part of our stream. Thank you to Wolves Den and Ranok and Iron Knight and Vamp Queen for joining our community. We are so grateful to have you here. If you have not, please consider a donation, exclamation point Oxford. We'll get you to the Oxford Community Bank. They have a fund for the survivors and the families of the victims of the Oxford shooting last week. And here in Michigan, it's a really big deal. It's really changed how we view education, how we view the classroom. And it's just, in lieu of anything else that you can do tonight, every dollar is going to go directly to the families. It's all being covered by the bank. I trust them implicitly, and just, it would mean a lot to me to know that we're helping those families out. So there's that. Kind of a downer. Let's come back up again. We are back next week for more of this. If you can't make it till then, the Convergence is going to go up on Wednesday night. I will see you all then. Thank you again for being out, and we'll see you all next time. Until then, every last one of you, stay safe.